But I'm here-ish. I think that's it for Discord. Hey, Dark Druids. I'm just putting in all the alerts that I'm going live. I accidentally closed Chrome. That was a mistake. D&D campaign was pretty good. Thanks for the host. It was a pretty decent session, mostly role-playing, but I like that about D&D. Not having to always fight. Alright, this one is sent, and that should be the last one for now. Okay. I am also running late, I know that. But I have a good excuse. I was playing Minecraft. Good grape juice. Drop invites in your Discord. Sure, I might do that later. Excuse me. Excellent defense. Alright. Let's get this started. Wait, one more thing to do. There we go. Now let's get this started. First things first. Oh! My control was automatically connected today. Weird. That works. Alright. So, if I recall, since it's been a few days, like 3 days, I think. Last we left off, we're in the desert, with 2 objectives. The first is to find Pharaoh, the beast that called Estelle an insipid poison. And the second is to find, the parents that were sent out into the desert for reasons that I don't exactly remember what they said. So, and we made it halfway through the desert with the day and night cycle. Although I kind of just rushed through it instead of searching for loot because I wanted to end it that time.
Sorry if I hurt you.
Take this!
Oh, power that tries
Pushing eagle! Knock him around and calm down.
By that will probably take you somewhere else. Somewhere it shouldn't. Should I not click it?
Draconian slash! All my heart! Pushing eagle!
Oh, the sign of victory!
Yeah!
Yay!
You got pretty good.
Action-packed stream, yep.
Stronger.
We're going to be getting closer to a boss soon. Oh, interesting boss. With a strange mechanic.
Our ties to each other will save us!
Our ties to each other will save us!
Alright! Destruction strain! Spread the
Nice.
snare and deliver my enemies unto me.
Shining Fang!
Ha! Here I go! Ha! Crashing smash! Priest of innocent waters! I
Crushing
you
eagle!
down!
Man, I feel like I'm out of practice a bit.
Enemies unto me.
Take this!
Here I go!
Shining Fang!
Priest of innocent waters!
That was too easy.
Okay, so I'd rather explore this desert more later when I don't have to deal with the whole water situation thing. Because it's kind of a pain. So I'm just gonna, like, move on and ahead. Hey, I see that chest over there. It turned day way too fast.
What the? What are you doing, old man? You see, I was thinking that there's a pretty odd creature over there. Huh? What is that?
That is odd.
It's Yuri!
Yep.
I thought I was gonna have a heart attack there.
Is she swimming in the desert?
That's my line. Hey, don't tell me you're searching for treasure in the sand.
Quite so.
What's this?
What's the point of her leaving it, like 5 minutes ago if she's gonna just join us again?
A treasure that I freed hid. This chest?
I'm surprised you were able to find treasure in the sand.
An adventurer's intuition is even sharper than the right side of a dolphin's brain.
What?
Intuition? How unscientific.
Oh, but you can't make light of intuition.
Seriously? Is that the treasure you're looking for?
Details, details. Don't ask the creepy girl swimming in sand what she's doing. Okay, okay. Fair, very fair.
Nah, this is just rubbish. Besides, finding treasure isn't my goal. It's recovering your memory, isn't it? And in order to do that, I need to find me grandfather's treasure, the Maris Stella.
Yeah? You still haven't recovered your memory yet?
Unfortunately, no. But my journey's only just beginning.
Hearing pirate talk with that, non-piratey way of talking, it feels weird.
She
Why-
sure recovers quickly.
That's why I'm not fond of the voice direction they gave her.
I like that about her.
Really? I'm like that too, you know?
Hey, if we keep chatting out here, we're gonna keel over.
Definitely.
Patty, why don't you come with us too? But I need to keep hunting for treasure.
Shut up and just come with us, all right?
Sure. Patty joined the party. Again!
Alf and Layla's parents don't seem to be anywhere.
And with the desert as brutal as all this, odds are they're not holding up too well.
Thanks, old man. This hot-as-hell desert was missing a looming sense of dread.
How could Cumore just abandon people out here because they got on his nerves?
Seriously, let's hurry up and find those kids' parents while we still have some strength left.
How are you still asking why Cumore does shitty things? He's a shitty person. That's why he does shitty things. Alright, as I said, I'm pretty much skipping as much of this desert as I can. Glowing ribbon. So that would be Patty, who's already wielding something to learn. And Rita. Alright. Also, I need to put Patty back in because she gets the least amount of use. Patty and currently Judith are the least used. There we go. Cutscene, I guess.
Up ahead!
Let's go.
Are you okay?
Hooray, we found them!
It's you.
Do you feel better now?
It's you? You know who we are?
My wife. Where's my wife?
You mean this woman? She's right here.
Please, hold
Where'd all
still.
the music go? Like how it changed today when you met Patty, implying that Razor was just looking at Patty for an entire... Raven? Raven was looking at Patty for an entire night, and the party was just like, alright, guess we're doing this now. I guess, yeah, that's true.
Water.
Pretty sure that's bad for you when you're dehydrated, just gulping down as much water as possible.
Into me.
Oh, that really hit the spot.
Or is that just food when
Thank
you're
you
starving?
so much.
We're alive. Thanks to you. You're our saviors.
Was spacing on his name. To be fair, with that outfit, he does kind of look like he'd be named Razor.
Please, it's nothing.
We'll have time to relax once we get you back alive.
What's the problem? Things will work themselves out.
You're pretty crazy to say that in a situation like this.
I'd like to thank you for saving us, but I'm afraid I don't have anything with me that I could give you.
Oh, please. We don't need anything like that.
No,
We've already been
that
paid.
simply won't do. Please, come to Mantake so that I can pay you back for what you've done.
We've already been paid.
Mantake?
Wait, are you the parents of Alf and
Oh,
Layla?
we didn't figure that out. Okay. Think water has an issue as well in this scenario. Not sure either. I should double check that later.
Yes.
Probably will forget.
Yes,
but,
we are.
You know. Yeah, better. Okay.
Did you see our children back in Mantake?
Yes, we met them there.
They were worried about their mom and dad.
They were even going to come out into the desert to look for you.
Oh, this is terrible. We have to go back to them.
Don't be so hasty. Do you think you two can go back by yourselves?
Well, that is... No, I guess we can't.
Then just calm down for now.
Aye, that's right. Just lie down and relax a bit. Patty, I think that's taking it a little too far.
Don't lie down in the sand.
A bird? In this desert?
It sounds close.
Sounds like it came from just up ahead.
So we'll get to meet him. It's about time. I was about to shrivel up in this heat.
You two come too.
Yes.
Make sure to keep a safe distance. You'll want to be out of the way in case a fight breaks out.
Yes, you two come into come too as well into this possibly supremely dangerous situation.
Yes, okay.
Avast, Repeat! Stop pulling at my clothes like that.
Patty, watch your step. It's dangerous.
Whoa, that was a close call. Repeat, you were only warning me. Repeat seems to like Patty. Why is that?
He just likes kids.
He wants youth and vim, not gray and stolid. So my age has been the problem.
Wait, Patty is certainly young, but that's not everything, right?
Multi-fight.
Suppose I could try. Brilliant!
She learned something. Hooray!
Oh, enduring drive.
I am surrounded to hell.
Is that it? Pierce Buster.
Draconian
New
Slash!
blade.
Shining Fang!
Rocky bomb.
Take this!
Spoon.
Man, yeah, I still feel like I'm slightly out of practice.
This!
Sorry.
Take this! Fang!
Oh, power that tries
Which is going to be a bit of a problem with the next fight.
Take this!
The sign of victory!
Yeah!
Ooh, that's...
Yeah! Well, I was going to go back and heal up, but look at all these creatures.
Ooh, they look scary.
It's like this heal state is a trap. Can't get out of it without taking some damage.
Try Soul Shine. I have an idea.
Shining Fang!
I like how everyone's just
Ooh,
learning
nice moves.
stuff all over the place.
Crushing Eagle!
The sign of victory!
Yeah!
Skewers?
Here, Repeat. Have a skewer. That looks quite tasty.
Boiled eggs are the best part.
Nonsense! Daikon is the centerpiece, Patty. Daikon!
Hold up now.
That's unexpected. Usually you're happy with anything you can chew through, Rita.
That's just how good skewers are. But both Rita and the old man are wrong. Where are they mistaken? The true star of skewers is fish cakes. Especially the white ones. Fish cakes, is it? Repeat agrees. Well, I don't mind as long as it's tasty.
Oh, come on, another fight? Repeat agrees.
Cowards!
Come on, Wind. Knock him around.
Oh, caprice of innocent waters!
I wanted to head to the boss fight with full health, but that doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Take this. Come on, Wind.
Oh, sharpened rage!
Take this. Come on, Wind.
Uncensored on all platforms? Oh, that'll be interesting.
Take this. Have a spin.
Smile of wavering darkness!
Let's go.
Might have to worry a little bit about my stream, huh? Alright, there we go. Go away, you can fight someone else. Here we go.
Something isn't right. Be on your guard.
That's not Pharaoh!
Yeah, there's something different about that voice.
Hey! What the? It's disgusting!
That thing is weird.
Using a decoy to sneak up on us? What a cowardly monster!
I've never seen a monster like that!
That's not a monster.
If it's not a monster, what the hell is it?
Even Repeat's frightened. This can't be good.
Let's get out of here!
It's coming this way!
Damn. Looks like we have no choice. Out of the way, you two!
Time to fight.
What is this thing?
I don't want to deal with it if we don't have to. I guess we have no choice.
I didn't.
Who cares? It's about a little heat. New moon blade!
Okay, there we go.
Power that tries so
I can't get to it. I forget how you're supposed to handle that thing.
Take this.
Hold on. Luna Fang. Now. Dang.
Damn it.
Oh, power that tries soul shine.
Better safe than sorry.
Take this.
Oh, brilliant angels, grant us your favor.
Shining Fang. This is it.
Nurse!
So, as you might have noticed, this boss's mechanic is that it basically turns from day to night, and along with it, it becomes resistant to fire or ice, depending on the time.
Take this. Shining Fang. This is it.
I keep getting that one. Man, it's not an easy boss to fight.
Thanks.
Okay, I don't remember how I'm supposed to do it, but if I can attack the orb and destroy it, I did complete the mission, the secret mission.
I'll blow you away. Shining Fang. Take this. You're dead. Divine Wolf.
I'll read that in a moment. I want to get right through the boss fight first. Sorry. That hurt. I'm gonna not stay there.
Holy power, come to me. First aid. Oh, brilliant angels, grant us your favor.
No good.
Yeah, if I had the moon selector, I'd be playing as Judith trying to get that, because I think she can get it best. That was some throwing it up in the air, wasn't it?
I guess we got it, but...
Oh, I'm so tired.
Alright. Maybe a little. Better safe than sorry, but that may be more costume stuff rather than anything else. Not sure, honestly. I mean, there's always a hot springs thing that may or may not be censored or whatever. Presuming that Twitch will have warnings on the game, so it shouldn't pose much of an issue, I think. But maybe worth keeping an eye out for anyone saying anything about it. Yep. Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
Oh,
We'll see how it goes. Alright.
It vanished.
I doubt it'll be too much of a problem for me.
What's this?
They always tend to try and stay around the, you know, young adult area rather than absolute maturity.
I can't go on!
Rita. Carol. The more simmering, dizzying heat and grilling mollusks.
I'm afraid even I can't take any more.
This isn't good.
Wow, everyone's collapsed from the heat. And fighting that monster. Which apparently is not a monster according to Judith. I wonder what that means.
What? A town? That dragon from the Wizened of Kados.
Came out and denied any rumors that about it being censored.
Go ahead.
Because there was something that
Hope you
blew up on
choke
Reddit. I'll look
on
into
my
that later.
bones. We collapsed in the desert, and this can't be heaven. Where are we?
This is an unusual place. I see you peeking out, Wonder Chef. But first, let's do this. Guess you found me. You're pretty good. I'll teach you to cook as a reward. Learn the recipe for croquet. I'll give you this so you can practice. Obtain 3 sets. Gotta go. Till we meet again. Farewell! I miss him saying farewell. Carol says, I found an hourglass, apparently. And an all divide. What the heck? Rita's dotting. Leaving so soon? You're quite welcome to stay as long as you like. Oh no, I'm pretty much just, You're awake! You're awake. Are you alright? You passed out by the town entrance. See where we are. Oh, hi, Patty.
Good morning.
Ladies.
Don't you want a morning kiss?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, Yuri, are you feeling better now?
Yeah. How about you guys? Are you alright?
So there's a random chef that it just teaches you recipes. Yep. You gotta find him in his disguises all over the world. Usually in towns, but there are occasions where he's in dungeons.
Yes, it would seem that way.
We all collapsed in the desert, right? So what are we doing in this town?
Seems like someone came to our aid.
Though we're not sure who.
He's called the Wonder Chef, by the way. I don't know if that was clear or not.
I wonder what kind of praiseworthy fellow could cross such a toasty desert and save so many people.
We need to find whoever it was and thank them.
I mean, the only person we saw was that weird creature and the dragon from the Wizened of Kados.
What about the couple who was with us?
They appear to have been brought here as well.
And
So
one
they
of them
didn't
was
get a
trying to
look at
kill
our
us.
rescuers either?
Apparently they lost consciousness like the rest of us. I believe the two of them are having a look around town.
I wonder, was it just a mirage?
What do you mean?
Oh, just before I blacked out, I saw that dragon that got the air under control back at Kados.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't you see it, Estelle?
No, I didn't see anything.
I think you were the only one awake at that time.
And that monster must have saved us or something. A monster saved us? I can't.
Was it
Oops.
just a mirage then? So what's the story? Where exactly are we?
Good questions, isn't it?
A kindly gentleman
exactly
is looking into
happened?
that very matter for us.
Kindly gentle. Oh, you mean the old man?
A kindly gentleman. Oh, hey, Carol and Rita are awake.
There's no barrier here. This town is weird.
I thought the mountains in the east were supposed to be uninhabited.
No, seriously, these two coming out like that together, again, I really think they were originally intended to be brother and sister.
Rita, Carol, over here!
What's that?
The monster that attacked us in the desert dropped it.
I didn't see any feathers on that thing.
That's one of Pharaoh's feathers.
Apparently she knows.
But why would that monster have one of Pharaoh's feathers?
Man, there's so much we don't know.
Welcome back.
And just why was it up to me to go tromping off on a recon mission?
Because you're kind.
If I'd gone, this sweet young lady would have been all alone with you. That's far too unsafe.
Unsafe? You can't possibly mean me.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I think I'm gonna gag.
Suppose I don't mind people thinking I'm dangerous. Adds to my mysterious charm.
Such a mystery.
It seems we're in Yormgen. You know, that town from the diary on the ghost ship.
Wait, this is Yormgen?
The town that needed the clear seal crystal to protect itself from monsters?
It makes sense. They don't have a barrier here.
That must be why they were searching for a way to drive away the monsters.
Which means...
But that was 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, and I find it strange that they were getting by at all without a barrier.
You're right.
Aye!
What if we were to show this case to one of the locals and ask them?
Yes, we might learn something about Pharaoh that way as well.
How are the two connected?
I agree.
Apparently they're connected. I think I missed the link, but apparently they are. Maybe they said it and I just zoned out for some reason. Having an off-brain day, so that's very big possibility.
What was the deal with that weird monster we ran into in the sands of Kogor?
Just the thought of it still sends chills down my spine.
Was that thing even alive?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, it wasn't anything like other creatures that make their home in the desert.
Ah, the feather, right.
Another astute observation from Captain Carroll.
Whatever it was, I hope we never see it again.
Me too.
Yeah, speaking about the whole brain day thing, I'm just... My brain is off today, so I may even just, like, forget that I'm paying attention to things. So I'll try and stay paying attention, but, you know, it's just something that might happen. They didn't say anything about Pharaoh other than that during the conversation. Yeah, that's true. Pretty much the only thing they did say. Our village chief is a great man, but the sage is even greater. The sage will drive out any monster that may attack us. Like that a lot, yeah. It happens sometimes for me. This must be the store. How much money? I have a good amount of money. And pretty much all of it's going to be used on healing items. I've got enough panacea, enough life bottle. Definitely have to restock on magic lens. Oh, they don't have weapons. Cool. Resist ring. Reduces elemental damage by... Ooh, excuse me. Elemental damage by 10%. Physical damage by 10%. I can... I'm not going to get that because it's so expensive. That thing has time powers. The in the past now, maybe. All right, since I have so much money and I'm not buying weapons, I'm going to get a lot of food. Back to cooking I go. I know you put in a prediction, but I'm not going to completely confirm or deny it until it's proven. There's spoilers in this playthrough, but I like to play it like that.
That box! I feel as though I've seen it somewhere. I can't seem to recall where it was, though.
Give me that. Limit bottle. Something I should be using, but I don't. The Colosseum scene of countless bloody battles. It's so thrilling. I want to die in that stone circle someday. I'm not laughing at what she said. I'm laughing at the all writing. What she said is kind of what? That's my dream. Wild, isn't it? It's a shame the Colosseum is so far from here.
So after all we went through to cross the desert, we can't meet Pharaoh.
And after you've all risked your lives to help me.
Maybe it's better that we didn't find him after all.
Yeah, if we had to fight him now, we probably wouldn't make it out.
Think about it though, Pharaoh can fly. He's free to be pretty much anywhere at any time. Tracking him down will be a tall order unless he's got a lair somewhere in the area.
No one's saying that meeting him will be impossible.
We might get some information if we ask around in the town.
You're right. Thank you, both of you.
When things seem impossible, you have to eliminate the things that you can't do in order to find a way to do it. Welcome, travelers, from so far away. I'm afraid our village doesn't have anything particularly special to offer.
Are you people from somewhere else? Isn't it pretty here with all the flowers blooming?
It is. I'd have so much consumable phobia with all the stuff that seems to be used in this game. So the funny thing is, you don't really have to use all of it. It's just like more... The things that I do use are more, well, these over here, yeah. But these I literally almost never use, except for magic lens. I'll use an all divide when I'm having trouble with a lot of trouble with a fight. But there's also the fact that I'm literally kind of not doing my usual way of playing, because like normally when I play games like these, I'll go into a town, write down all of the prices of all the weapons and armor, go back outside and grind until I have all the money I need to buy it. But, like, that would make for a boring stream, so... I'm not doing that part. But... it's not that big of a problem with the consumables. You came from across the sea? Hold on, I said that weirdly. You came from across the sea? You must be so tired. You've been on a ship for a long time, yes? What? No? Blastia? What's that?
This town's weird. It's in the middle of the desert, but look at all the plants.
It sort of reminds me of Mantake.
Yeah, but there is something different.
Really?
It does remind me
There
of
may be
Mantake.
more here than meets the eye. Maybe the truth is hidden away.
Leave it to Judith to put things into perspective.
The better the intuition, the more you see.
Hey, I have intuition.
Okay. A very interesting strategy, yeah. It takes a bit of time, but it gets me, like, more stronger than I need to be. Gets me all the items that I want, and, like, it just... It appeals to me, because, like, I like being a collector and buying everything I can. Like, if I actually was playing, I would have full inventory of everything. Food included. This town is currently facing a terrible crisis. The threat of a giant monster attack. Everyone says we can accomplish anything with the sage on our side. But is it alright to believe that? Oh hey, it's these two. Thank you so much for saving us. I want to hurry back to Pamgaea to see the kids. The kids must be so worried. If only they didn't come looking for us. No, it's good. I stopped them from doing that. Really? I want to get to the chest, but apparently that path was not possible. Ooh, a cutscene.
That box.
Do you know something about this box?
Launchy had it. Where did you get it?
On a ship called the Atherum, my lovely lady. Have you heard of it?
Of course. You know about the Atherum too?
Yes. We happen to come across it on the ocean.
Did you see Launchy?
And Launchy would be...
Oh, Launchy is my love. I'm sorry to suddenly get so personal.
Your love. Damn it. Hey, Carol. Your turn.
Gotta love asset sizes at times. Yeah, especially when she was apparently just pulled it out randomly from out of nowhere in the during the whole Colosseum battle thing.
You're hopeless. All that we saw was the ship itself. Oh, I see.
Could I ask your name?
Oh, my name is Yuafan.
That's the name that was in the diary we found on the Atherum. Perhaps she's a descendant with the same name?
Do you know about the clear seal crystal?
They say it has the power to drive back monsters.
The sage said it was necessary to make a barrier around the town. Is that what's in the box?
Yes, we came to deliver this box to you.
I see.
She has the key.
Is that the key?
Could I have the box? Wow.
Can't show her opening
Is this
it.
the clear seal crystal?
Looks like it.
It's so sparkly and glittery. A treasure even more beautiful than sea sparkles blooming on the surface of the ocean.
So who's that sage you were talking about earlier?
The sage is a great Critian who came to our town from across the desert.
It's weird to hear poetic stuff like that from such a voice.
A Critian?
Well, creating a barrier is basically creating a Blastia.
Blastia? But we can make Blastia with current technology, right?
There are people who do. You saw the Blastia at Emmead Hill in Cair Bakram, but I don't think that sage guy is the one who made those Blastia with messed up formulas.
I'm sorry. I don't really understand.
She has no idea what you're talking about.
But the sage said that the clear CL crystal was needed to create the barrier, so Longchi set out to look for it. It's been 3 years since he left.
3 years, huh? You must be worried.
Wait, this sounds weird.
It
Yeah,
does.
the stories don't match up.
You think she could have miscounted by 1,000 years?
That would be a pretty big miscount.
How old is she anyway?
The same thing could have happened 3 years ago, or 1,000 years ago, probably.
They say that history repeats itself, but who really knows?
Is that sage in this town? Where does he live?
Oh, yes, he lives in the house farthest into the town.
I
Sounds
think
like
it
we
might
need to
be
talk to
faster
him.
if we went to talk to the sage.
Yep, same thing.
Yes, maybe so.
If you're going there, could you take the clear CL crystal to the sage for me?
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's go.
Clear CL crystal.
By the way, did you happen to see Longchi?
I hate to tell you, lady, but he did.
If you have a question, you should ask the sage. You can all really depend on him. Our current mayor is too young and unreliable. Fork!
Alright. So the sage should be... I've already talked to him. Okay. The sage should be up here. Have I done everything in this section? Oop, there's someone to talk to.
My father died very suddenly, and I found myself governing this village, but it isn't going well at all. I don't know what I would do without the sage's help.
Oh, so he's the mayor.
Yormgen and Mantic are totally different. It's much cooler here. Maybe it's the ocean.
The ocean is very nice, yeah? It's a beautiful place, too.
But it seems boring. I wonder what the folks here do for fun.
I kind of like it. This kind of calm, quiet village suits me. I can't stand loud people.
Oh, that's gotta hurt, old man.
She was talking about the town, not about me.
Maybe.
Do you really hate me that much?
Don't mind me, I'm gonna have a couple donuts. I haven't really eaten all day.
You're a stranger.
That kid's smart. Why the heck did the mayor just tell you his life story out of nowhere? I mean, they all tell you their life stories. Kitty! Wait, no, that was question mark.
Excuse
Dude.
me.
Huh? Hey, that's... You're...
Who exactly?
We've run into each other a couple times.
You? How have you come to this place?
What do you mean, how? We walked. As in, across the desert.
I see. And yet, how did you...
He seems to be confused about something.
No matter. For what reason have you come?
We're a little curious about this.
This must have cost you dearly to obtain.
I'm just gonna show him literally the thing that is super valuable to these people. What if he wants to take it?
Actually, it just sort of landed in our lap.
That was quite a miracle.
You're planning on making a barrier blastia, aren't you? You're free to go pretending you're a sage, but forget about making any blastia. Who would even consider building a barrier blastia with something that's so obviously not a core?
But it is a solid mass of air. It simply lacks an inscribed formula.
Lacks an inscribed formula? What do you mean?
Duke knows something.
They are most commonly known as Apatheia, of which the clear CL crystal is one example.
So this is an Apatheia?
That the treasure you've been looking for, old man?
Also, I am not the sage.
Oh yeah, Raven's looking for that.
Huh?
No such being exists any longer.
That's a problem. We'll need to get that back from you in that case.
Neither I nor humanity have a need for such a thing.
Whoa! What are you doing? Hold on a sec!
Bruh!
It's the same phenomenon we saw at Cave Mock!
We could have probably used that for some reason or other. I think. Maybe.
Oh, man. Just when I found one.
Well, look at it this way, Raven. You actually know what they look like now.
The Apatheia bring only chaos to humanity. They are better off returned to air.
Return to air? Is that really all you did just now?
It's still no reason to go smashing other people's things.
What kind of a person treats treasure so poorly?
Wasn't the clear CL crystal, the Apatheia, needed to save this town from the monsters?
This town has no use for a barrier, and no need to be saved.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. Knowing what the Apatheia actually is, this whole conversation is kind of weird and a little bit creepy.
This place has been granted everlasting calm.
Come to mention it, it is pretty quiet here.
But still, there are monsters like Pharaoh nearby.
How do you know of Pharaoh?
I'd ask you the same thing. You seem to know about him yourself.
You know a lot of things that you're not telling.
Please, tell us what you know. Pharaoh referred to me as a poison.
I see.
Oh, you know what that means.
You know something, don't you?
There is a being in this world who possesses a power the Entelekea despise.
Entelekea?
You mean... me?
This being is known as the Child of the Full Moon.
Child of the Full Moon. Like in the legend. By Entelekea, you mean Pharaoh?
That is correct.
But what would the Entelekea have against me? Against a Child of the Full Moon? What is this power the Child of the Full Moon possesses that they despise?
That answer lies only within the hearts of the Entelekea themselves.
A lot of stuff is coming out of this conversation.
Which means I've got no choice but to find Pharaoh and ask him myself.
Do not be foolish. Meeting Pharaoh would end only in the death of the Child of the Full Moon.
But...
Estelle, give it a rest.
Hey, Regay, Jaeger from Ruinsgate talked about the Entelekea earlier, didn't he?
Something about them being the ancient race that built Nordopolica.
So Pharaoh built Nordopolica? That doesn't seem possible.
Take your leave. There's nothing more for you here.
Wait, there's something I want to ask you too. What were you doing at that Air Krene? Just who are you? What is that sword of yours?
Those matters exceed your comprehension.
Try me.
Do not ask of them again. Go. I have nothing more to say.
Where do you get off?
Rita.
Don't worry, we'll learn all this later on.
Duke may have been the one that saved us in the desert.
So if I recall correctly, that conversation is supposed to raise more questions than it answers. If I recall for how I understood it when I was playing. For the first time.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go and thank him.
Hold up. He doesn't seem the type to do something like that.
You don't think so?
Just a hunch. You said that Child of the Full Moon he mentioned was the sister of brave Vesperia, right?
Which makes sense that the guild Brave Vesperia is traveling with the Child of the Full Moon.
Yeah. Goddess who bathes this world in her golden light, you are named Child of the Full Moon. Your brother, brave Vesperia, watches over us from the skies. You remain bound to your mother, the Earth, and will shelter her with your unceasing protection.
Is there like a hidden meaning in there?
Maybe.
I'm not sure, but maybe it's more than just an old legend.
Remaining to protect the Earth, huh?
Could protecting the Earth have anything to do with ruling over this world?
You mean like becoming the Emperor? If Estella's the child of the full moon, that would add up.
Which means all the previous emperors would have been on Pharaoh's hit list.
Yeah, actually.
I've never heard of anything like that.
This all sounds pretty complicated.
Yeah, I suppose it might be a bit too complicated for you, Patty.
Don't condescend, Patty.
It's too complicated for you too, old man.
Rita can explain it to you later.
Me?
Shouldn't we be thinking more about what to do next?
Me?
I'm gonna stay here. There are things I've got to investigate.
Investigate?
Clear seal crystals, Apatheia, all kinds of things. Honestly, I have a few bones to pick with Mr. Warm and Fuzzy over there.
Mr. Warm and Fuzzy.
If you're all going back, we'll have to say our goodbyes here.
But...
Oh, that's too bad. I don't imagine the desert will be much fun on your own, but good luck.
Oh, that's right. I can't go anywhere without crossing that desert.
We can afford to take a load off while she's checking things out, can't we? I'm pretty interested in Apatheia myself.
If we're going back into the desert, we need to take time to prepare. We don't want to keel over again.
It's okay,
That's
I bought
true.
a shit ton of food.
How about we leave tomorrow? Rita, one day should be enough, right?
Shouldn't be a problem. Thanks. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay then, we'll meet up near the exit tomorrow morning.
Right. See you then.
And everyone splits up again. Parted with everyone. Speaking of the food, what do I have that I have not mastered? Well, let's start with the beef bowl. Wait. I'm focusing on Yuri first to make it faster in a second playthrough if I do that. Although, I do have a third playthrough actually already saved up, so probably won't do that there. Alright, I'm going back up here. Hey, Mr. Warm and Fuzzy.
I have nothing left to say to you.
Well,
you're not gonna follow him?
What's
That
the
went
point?
nowhere.
He's not gonna talk to me.
So this was a complete waste of time?
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Apatheia?
When the air crane went berserk, Jaeger was carrying this box. This box was what messed up my magic.
You think the Apatheia is what's causing the air crane to go out of control?
Judging from the evidence, it could be a valid hypothesis.
Very possible.
So when the Blastia and Heliord was going out of control, you think there was Apatheia nearby? And the air crane and Cave Mock too?
There may have been. Otherwise, maybe the Apatheia's been damaging the whole world's air crane little by little, and a large distortion just happened to appear then.
I see.
It's really nothing more than a guess, but it could be right.
You don't sound very sure of yourself.
In science, you continually make hypotheses, then test them, and you get closer and closer to the truth. That's how it is.
Yep. Science is all about proving yourself wrong until you come to the conclusion that can't be proven wrong.
Well, okay. Maybe I can do something with this after all.
What are you gonna do now?
The next step after a hypothesis is testing it.
So we need to find a Apatheia and take it to an air crane? Is that what you're saying? Oop, strange mark. Crest that slightly shortens the time a mage is immobile after casting a spell. Nice. That is a really old key. Doesn't seem like it would open. You mean lock?
No, not now. I'll lose my concentration.
Okay. I'll just go fuck off or something, then. Anybody want to talk over here? Hey, Raven.
Hey, old man. You can feel free to go on ahead to Nordopolica.
Hey there, youngin'. What? You want to get rid of me so soon?
Wrong. I just wouldn't want you to miss the new moon and your chance to deliver the letter all on our account.
Honestly, I could do fine without your concern.
Wrong again. If brave Vesperia gets in the way of Altosk's work, we'll be apologizing to the Dawn for an eternity.
Not wrong there.
What? You're too young to bother yourself with such fluff.
It's a matter of brave Vesperia being trustworthy. You see what I mean?
We've still got time left until the new moon. We'll be fine.
You sure?
Anyway, ain't about to go back through the desert and that cave myself. If I got killed by some monster on the way there, not only would the letter not get delivered, but brave Vesperia certainly wouldn't look very trustworthy to potential clients then, would they?
In that case, we'd collect your bones and the letter and deliver them as promised.
Oh, how kind of... Wait, hey!
Anyway, just as long as you won't go blaming me if you don't manage to deliver it on time.
No problem.
Anyone to talk to up here? Oh, there's Carol.
We weren't able to find Pharaoh after all.
Yeah, our first job as a guild was an egregious failure. What do you think? Should we go back to Dongrest?
That might be best. But would you be okay with that, Yuri? And what about Estelle?
I'd be fine with it. As for Estelle, I'll leave that answer up to her.
All right.
This sure is a serene little town.
Huh? Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
The music's serene too.
No guilds, no empire. It's a little strange.
Yeah, but I think it's relaxing.
Yeah, but even so, I prefer Dongrest.
That's how everyone is. Everybody prefers the place where they grew up.
You too, Yuri?
Well, yeah, sure.
Of course.
But if we're gonna work together in brave Vesperia, we'll have to decide on a single place for our home base.
We could always make someplace new, you know.
Someplace new?
Yeah, you know, everyone thinks of Dongrest as the Union City, but it's really Altosk's city. It could be like that. Brave Vesperia could make its own city.
Yeah.
Brave Vesperia's own city. Yeah, I like that idea.
We could call it the Super Courageous Ultra City.
Well, either way, we've got a lot of jobs as a guild ahead of us before we can be thinking about things like that.
Yeah, now that you mention it, Nordopolica is Palestrali's city, isn't it?
Yeah, if you think of it that way, Nordopolica's more of a guild city than Dongrest even.
Yeah, and Bellius rules the city too. Nordopolica, Leader of a city, Duce of a guild. Wonder what sort of person Bellius is.
Well, we should probably find out sometime. She seems kind of cool. Hi, Estelle.
So you weren't able to meet Pharaoh after all?
But I learned about some very important things. The child of the full moon, and the Pamgaea.
But the only new thing we learned was what those words mean. As for the reason Pharaoh's trying to kill you, it seems we won't know unless we go and ask him directly.
But you heard what he was saying. If I go to meet Pharaoh, he'll just wipe me out.
It looks like we'll never know the truth then.
After all this, it's like I'm being told that I should just give up.
No, no way.
Maybe...
Huh?
maybe what I'm trying so hard to figure out isn't really that important to know at all.
What do you mean?
If I'd never met you, Yuri, and I just kept living my life in that castle, I would have lived without ever knowing about the Child of the Full Moon, or the Pamgaea, or any of that. So maybe I could just go on living without knowing why Pharaoh wants me dead.
So you're saying you should just go back to the capital?
It doesn't sound like a good idea to me.
I think that's definitely an option.
If that's what you want to do, I won't stop you.
Yuri.
Our contract with you is null and void at this point, after all.
That's true.
It's just, I don't really like hypothetical situations. They're not real life, and I'm not too good at pretending to forget things that I already know. If you can do that, then I don't have any problem with it. But can you really?
Those straps on Yuri's chest are so tight on him that you can see his pecs from them.
Then I can't do that either. But I have no idea what I should do in this sort of situation.
You want to know the truth, but you don't know what to do. That'd be a good summary of your situation, right?
That's a summary of a lot of people's situation, honestly.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Hey, repeat. Ruff. Anybody in the inn? Hi, Patty. Oh, I guess I can't go back there.
Would you like a skewer?
Skewer.
Is it any good?
Why don't you try it out? It's my grandfather's secret recipe.
What? But didn't you say you had amnesia?
I know everything there is to know about Ifrid. I traveled all over researching about him after all. That's how I figured out Ifrid was the one who told me my name was Patty.
Ifrid told you your name?
That's my oldest memory. Just remembering that fond look makes me feel all warm inside. I don't know whether he's really my grandfather or not, but I feel that he was such an important person to me that I can't help but think that's who he is.
I see. Still, it might have been smarter to keep that to yourself.
I agree.
But...
You're used to it, huh?
I don't let small stuff like that bother me.
Crying gets you nowhere, was it? But even if you understand that in your head, your emotions aren't necessarily gonna listen.
I'm more patient than a camouflaged stone flounder sitting still in a field of stones.
What is with the analogies?
Oh yeah? But your info broker turned his back on you too.
Seems like a good piece of advice for everyone would be just walk forward. Yep. Keep moving forward. Even if you don't know what you're doing, you gotta move forward. Eventually you'll find something that'll help you.
It's nothing. Things will work out. Tomorrow's another day. What will be, will be.
Que sera, sera.
In any case, you need to eat up if you want to cheer up. Didn't I tell ya?
Dry-Eyed Dane. That's an odd name. An odd title. Alright, no one else in here except for her. Cool. I think I have... Who else do I have? Is it just Judith? Who, as always, is gonna appear at the entrance?
You're always out walking around, aren't you?
Yes, I guess I'm a pretty restless person.
That's unexpected.
You seem to have some problems staying put yourself.
I'm pretty restless myself.
That's not so unexpected, I think.
So, I think it's kind of like a lot of people see this as like Yuri and Estelle being a good couple. Personally, I'm for Estelle and Rita and Yuri and Judith.
Maybe it's the wanderlust coming back to me from when I used to fly around with Baul all the time.
Yeah, back when you were wearing that weird white armor.
Yes. Are you going to look for Pharaoh by yourself?
Nah.
Oh, then where were you planning on going?
Only a walk.
Oh, I see.
Doesn't it seem like we've been meeting this way a lot recently?
It does, actually. I just mentioned that.
No, must be your imagination.
Sure, just shoot me down like that. Did that white armor really look that strange on me? Is that... I think that's everyone. Rita, Carol, Raven, Estelle, Rapide, Patty, Judith. Yeah, that should be everyone. Okay. How about... Estelle and Rita both girls? Yeah, but it's obvious that Rita has some kind of interest in Estelle. How about resting after a hard day's work? Would you like to stay for 50 gold a night? Like, if you're just paying attention to some of the things Rita's been saying, like, there's something there. You could interpret it as being really good friends, or like wanting a really good friend, but like there's also the way to interpret it that she's totally interested. That said, Rita is very tsundere about it, but still.
Glad you could make it.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Apparently I'm the last to arrive.
You'll be heading back too, right?
Yes. Thanks to your help, we've recovered our strength. We were thinking we'd cross the desert with you all. That is, if you don't mind.
Just make sure you don't go wandering off.
How about us? What's our plan after this?
I'm headed for the air crene and the Wizened of Kados, but I am curious about the Entelikeia too.
I have the honored task of delivering this letter here to Bellius.
I'd like to meet Bellius once myself. I mean, seriously, the Duce. I want to see just what kind of person the leader of the only guild to rival Altosk really is.
Bellius?
Yeah. Bellius is the Duce of Palestrale, which governs Nordopolica. She's the most important person there.
Yeah, we totally needed to be told that again.
You're friends with someone that amazing, Carol?
Huh? Friends? Well,
No, we want to meet her.
It's Nordopolica for me too. I'm gonna see what Flynn has to say about those knights in Mantake. That's assuming he's still in Nordopolica, of course.
I want to know why the Entelikeia hate the child of the full moon, which means I have to meet Pharaoh.
But there's gotta be another way that doesn't involve Pharaoh.
Right. Besides, walking around in the desert just looking for him wouldn't be easy.
Why don't we all head for Nordopolica then? You're only looking to find out the reason you were attacked by the Entelikeia, correct?
Yes?
I imagine Bellius could tell you if you met with her.
Why? Because of the connection between the Entelikeia and the Colosseum?
That's possible.
I do remember Jaeger mumbling something about the Entelikeia of Nordopolica.
If we can believe anything he told us.
Well, we'll pass through the Wizened of Kados on the way to see Bellius. Good enough?
True enough. All right then, Nordopolica it is.
right. First, let's get back to Mantake.
What about Patty?
If I remember correctly,
Voice
there were some
change.
people in Nordopolica who didn't think too highly of Patty. I'll be fine, as long as I don't run into any of them. As soon as I'm out in the open sea, everything will be okay.
Then, will you come with us?
Aye, that I will.
That voice change was so obvious.
Didn't Bellius only meet with people on the night of the new moon?
Yeah, we'll have to get a move on if we're going to see her. I'll kick myself if we miss the new moon and have to wait another month.
Mic quality is different too, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It's odd how I'm actually hearing that.
I had no idea there were villages in the middle of the sands of Kagor.
I'm impressed they've managed to live here without a barrier to protect them.
They don't even have outer walls. Any monster could destroy this village easy. I don't feel like I could really get a good night's sleep in a place like this.
I do wonder how they handle the danger of wild monsters.
I guess everyone in town is just really strong.
Could you be any more stupid?
They did not look strong. I don't think any of them were carrying weapons. Alright, where am I? Can I go in here? I don't think I can. That's not even the place I was thinking anyway, so kind of pointless to try. Back into the desert I go. But I can also do this. Interesting that they didn't have the VAs do the lines again with the new equipment. Yeah, so they actually got new voice actors for it. It was like, it's like a decade later, and they got new voice actors for it. And if I recall correctly, I think it was Troy Baker who originally did Yuri's voice. I'm gonna have to double check that. It's either Yuri Lowenthal or Troy Baker who did the first voice. Hold on. Apparently I have a message. Oh, that was from you. Okay. Voices of... Alright. Third paragraph. Voiced in the English version by Troy Baker. Baker commented that he would have liked to doing all of Yuri's new lines again, but was never approached by the localization team. This resulted in Yuri... Okay, it was Grant George instead. So, yeah, the new lines were done by Grant George, whereas Troy never got contacted by the people, by Bandai Namco for some reason. Which I think is probably not the best thing. Also, clear CL
Can a clear CL crystal really be used to make a barrier?
If they could, and we had enough, we'd be able to make as many barriers as we wanted.
Then even areas that suffer frequent monster attacks could be assured safety.
Yeah, but if it were possible, wouldn't something like that have happened by now?
Maybe it's best not to get our hopes up about it then.
Ever the realist, I see.
All I'm doing is speculating on the most probable outcome.
Actually, I think that's what being a realist means.
I don't know. Troy Baker is like one of the voice actor. So, like, you'd think they would have. But, hey, look. This weird place seems odd. Maybe Pharaoh could hide here. But I can't get into it. That said, with the mic quality, like the way they did audio in this one, with the new stuff.
Whew, we're
honestly,
finally
it's probably
here.
For the better.
I've seen enough sand to last me a lifetime.
Because they didn't even equalize the new skits with the rest of the game's volume. Hey, this is weird.
You're telling me.
Look, there are people outside the town.
Wonder if that means the curfew's been lifted.
Oh, hey.
Cumore!
Easy now. Haste makes waste.
Indeed. We need to be cautious here and see what's going on.
Hurry, hurry, all aboard. Let's all enjoy a nice little tour of the desert, shall we? But while we're gone, the children!
I promise riches to anyone who can bring me the remains of that giant winged monster.
You're pulling the same bullshit that Rago did.
Then your children will be able to live in the lap of luxury.
Please, don't make us go!
Stop your whining. I told you vermin to get aboard.
Listen, it did not end well for Rago. Do you really think it's going to end well for you doing that?
Now get moving this instant.
That's just how we were sent into the desert.
Why don't they get on board themselves?
Because they must know just how dangerous this desert is, just like what happened to us.
The giant winged monster must be Pharaoh!
Yeah, but what's he want to capture Pharaoh so bad for?
Well, what are we gonna do? We can't just stand by and watch, can we?
I don't think it's a good idea to go right now.
I'm afraid that idiot isn't going to listen to anything a princess would say.
Then what should we do?
Carol, come here a sec.
He did threaten to make her disappear, didn't he?
What? Yeah, I could do that. But I'd need tools.
Always
Wait,
funny.
you mean...
Always funny when there's not something right in your path and it just doesn't exist until the plot says it does. Well, there's a reason for that, actually. I know I was being a little facetious about that, but like you can't get into that area without flying because you have to land. that was me being a little facetious and not following up with actual correct information.
Yes, perhaps this will help.
How convenient.
Alright, Carol, do your thing.
You guys better bail me out if this goes bad.
So you did pick that up?
Well, it was just lying there. I thought it might be useful.
Whatever.
Did Rita literally just come out of nowhere? Or was I just missing her in the background?
What's he doing?
And she just popped up forward just to say whatever.
Now about all we can do is leave it up to the kid.
What is it with these commoners? They're slower than slugs. Get aboard, damn you!
Also, map scale doesn't help with that. Yeah, there's that too.
Sir Cumore, everyone is aboard! Everyone except yourself. What? Me? Those who do their jobs slowly will never learn without punishment.
Sir Cumore, please, I beg of you. I have a wife and daughter.
Yeah, and these people have kids. Look what you're doing. Maybe Sir Cumore is a problem. You should probably fight back.
If you'd like to stay here, I'm sure I could arrange for them to go in your place.
You are an asshole.
Now be gone with you.
Carol. Don't worry. That young man is very capable.
What's going on? Who was it that readied this coach? Fix the blasted coach! I will find out who's responsible for this.
My eyes just keep getting drawn to that giant purple cod piece.
I've got to hand it to the little runt.
You did it.
Good job, Carol.
My heart was pounding like a drum.
This won't do anything more than buy us some time, though.
I think it's about all we can do at the moment.
We're still in the middle of our journey, after all.
Yeah, Cat and Carol would start crying if we tried to tackle the knights head on.
How about we make ourselves scarce before people start getting too curious?
I suppose we'll be on our way then.
Yeah, I'm sure your kids will be so happy to see you. But there won't always be someone around to save you.
Thank you again for all your help.
Guess we should lay low at the inn for a while.
Yee.
Using your power to terrorize people. There's not a soul in the lower quarter that evil. You've gone too far this time, Cumore.
This time? Hasn't he done that before?
There's no way I'm following the captain after seeing that. But if I don't, I won't even be able to eat. What am I supposed to do?
Gang up together and capture him? You all have been loitering around here for quite a while. Keep it up and I'll toss you in the slammer.
Who does that Knight Commander think he is? It's terrible. It's like they came here just to torture the townspeople. Even the way he talks makes me sick. One of these days, he's gonna make the wrong person mad.
Sir, standing in one place is so long is difficult, sir. But I won't let up. I'll keep on observing with everything I've got, sir.
I still say give him a raise, because, like, he's probably the most enthusiastic of everyone, and doing his best.
Get out of my sight. I've lost 10 pounds in just a few days. It's like a sauna in this armor. What do you say? How about joining our armor boot camp yourself?
No thanks, I'm good. I don't need armor. I have the power of friendship to protect
We
me.
made it out of the desert without getting lost.
We didn't bump into that strange monster either. The traps in the desert had to be that creature's doing.
I've never heard of a monster with that sort of ability.
As I recall, when the creature vanished, a feather fell from the sky.
A pharaoh's feather?
Do you think there might be some connection?
Perhaps it was a talisman to keep us on the right path.
The feather was there. Getting lost could be related to the pharaoh after all.
Did anyone who did the whole the voices and stuff like that for the new version of the game, the re-release, even bother to play or read the script of the game? Because they just called Pharaoh the Pharaoh at least 3 times in that. Also, shouldn't this have happened way back when, like before we got had that conversation about the feather?
It seemed like the knights wanted to take the townspeople somewhere. It makes you wonder if they're even here on official business.
This assignment is such a nightmare. I muddied the fountain the other day. Nah, I'm just kidding. Just a fun little lie to pass the time.
That's a weird thing to lie about. Hey, it's you two. Hey kids, how's it going?
Oh, it's you! Yay! Thank you for saving our mommy and daddy.
Ah, shucks, kids, 'tweren't nothing.
What are you getting all bashful for, old man? After all, we even got a reward for helping them. Oh, what's the matter?
Hey, it's you. Thanks so much for your help back there.
Thanks to you, our children have someone to take care of them again. No, really, we hardly did anything.
No, it's thanks to all of you, all of the precious water you shared with us, that we're here today.
I doubt this is really enough to thank you for all you've done, but...
Hourglass.
Thank you!
It's the least we could do. Thank you.
Here you go. Huh? This is important to you, right? You can have it back. But... Don't worry, your mom and dad already gave us something to thank us for helping them. We couldn't take your reward, too. That would be greedy. Okay. See you later, okay?
Handed over glass marble. Didn't even notice? Maybe because, like, I've played this so many times, I know exactly the differences. Played this and the original so many times, I know the differences. But, like, it kind of irks me when they say the Pharaoh, because that's literally his name, not a title. I get nitpicky about stuff like that too, so that may just be me being, you know, problematic. Alright, anything I can buy. I have a spine ripper, so I don't need to give that to Estelle. I can just transfer it over to her when Yuri's done. Keltus. It's not learned, so buy one of those. Actually, I'm going to go with armor first. Anyone need armor? Silver guard. 2 people need that. 1 person needs silver cloak. Protector. I can't afford all of it. Alright, I have Flamberge. But for now, I'm going to... Can understand you're the same way too? With anything I'm aware of. If you played Genshin, I'd be so specific when giving you info about what something's called. Yeah, I did play Genshin for a while, and then like back when it first released, and then I ran into a problem where they didn't have any more story, and like they didn't have anything else for me to do except wander around and try to find interesting stuff. So I wound up not playing it any longer, and like I haven't played it, even though I'm sure they've updated it since then. I haven't played it again since then, even though I'm sure they've updated it. I think I've grown past it mainly because I'm just not interested in full console releases of the mobile game type thing. Although it was a lot of fun when I was playing it. Alright, I don't want him to use Flamberge at the moment. Spine Ripper is the one that I was looking for. Mainly because we're in the desert and fire is bad to use against fire creatures. Some new story now, 2.0 added a new region, and there's more story quests as well. I may look into it in my free time, but it's not something I'm going to stream. That said, don't expect me to actually do that, because like just because I said I may look into it doesn't mean I actually do. I tend to be bad about that. Oop, didn't want to do that. Okay. Anything she needs to learn? Nothing? Cool. Oop. Okay. Strange mark. Reduce how long she's... I understand that. I hope they tone down the mobile systems and a bit myself, since the resin is a little annoying to wait on. Yeah. Well, it would be nice, but, you know, when they're making money, like billions of dollars from 2% of the players, they're not going to care about the 98% who are only spending maybe a couple dollars each, max. They're just going to ramp up. That's how it's always been. Every time I played a mobile game like that, they always ramp up rather than down. Dice. Increase grade earned by 10%. Not a big deal in this one. Defense. She's got the holy symbol. and luck, which increases my ability to gain items. Okay, I think everyone's got some good items on them.
Oh, you've returned safe from... Welcome back.
He's not even allowed to have a simple conversation?
Looks like they've still got guards watching him.
You must be tired. Please enjoy your stay.
That Cumore punk is really a lousy guy.
That night watching over that guy is even worse than when I was working in fast food. At least there I was allowed to mix things up and, you know, try and be a little more personable. This guy's only allowed to be all business, apparently.
Why are there so many lousy guys in the world?
It's probably some kind of disease.
It's gotta be the disease they call stupidity.
So you do catch on. I bet you're right.
I wonder why they're trying to capture Pharaoh.
I don't know, but
I'm just watching their heads go back and forth every time someone starts talking.
at this rate,
Oh,
they're gonna
no
send
more.
all of the adults in the town out into the desert.
And once the adults are gone, it might be the children's turn next.
No, that can't happen. If I just spoke to him as a representative of the Imperial family.
Are you forgetting what happened in Heliord?
Heliord?
Yeah, Estelle. He didn't care that you were the princess at all.
He's not the kind of person who'll reasonably listen to the words of a princess.
Whatever happened to the talk of going to Nordopolica?
So should we help the townspeople, or should we help ourselves?
Rita.
Don't you want to know what the Entelecheia is thinking? If so, you should put this whole business with Cumore out of your mind for the time being.
Nah. Well, I guess.
It's a strange feeling to be agreeing with you, but I think we should focus on meeting Belius for now. Even if we captured Cumore, we wouldn't have the authority to try him for his crimes.
We should talk to Flynn. Maybe he can do something.
If we can't do anything about him, we should focus on what we actually can do.
If only Flynn were here.
Flynn? But where is he?
Hey, she had the same thought.
I wish I knew.
He's probably still at the Colosseum, honestly.
Guess we can't kill two birds with one stone, huh?
I'm sorry, Estelle. We don't mean to be ganging up on you. It disgusts me, too, to imagine that jerk snoring all nice and cozy in his bed right now.
If you remember right, my plan for streaming at the moment is to stream the Tales games until Arise comes out, swap to that, and after beating that, you'll swap back to where you were. Pretty much, yeah. But I'm pretty sure, like, it feels like it's going to be a very narrow chance that I might beat this before Arise comes out, like, at about the same time. There's a very narrow chance that I can do that I can actually just go straight to Arise.
But... Rita, I understand.
Lock up a guy like that, and as soon as he's released, he'll just end up doing the same thing again.
Yep, you know what they say. The only cure for stupidity is death.
The only cure for stupidity is death.
But I will be playing Arise pretty much almost as soon as it comes out. I've gotten it pre-ordered for sure. Yuri, why are you over there? Does he not sleep in beds?
I guess I'll have to play by my own rules.
No, I've seen him sleep in a bed. So, why isn't anyone question him sleeping over by the wall? Is he supposed to be taking night watch or something? It's kind of weird. Oh, and Judith's doing the same. There's two open beds. Why are they not... I don't know. There must be some reason.
Cumore.
Oh.
No. Yuri, it's you. What are you doing here?
Oh, you got? Night watches, yeah.
Someone come quick. You would cross swords with a noble? Very well. I accept your challenge. No. How could this?
That was really freaking easy.
You talk too much, Cumore. The time's come for you to make your exit.
Do you have any idea the trouble you're in for even pointing that thing at me? Wait!
Why did you run over there?
I'm not the one to blame. I've just been following orders. I had no choice.
Then don't hate me. Hate whoever gave you your orders.
Wait, how about this? I could use my authority to pardon all of your crimes. A fresh start.
That's already been done.
I may even be able to have you reinstated as a knight.
Not interested?
I have no shortage of money. With enough money, I'm sure I could satisfy your every wish.
Are you hitting on me?
Go ahead. Tell me what it is you want.
There's only one thing I want from you.
And what might that? No, stop! Stay back! Don't come any closer, you beast! I am Cumore, a captain of the Imperial Knights, a man destined to become Commandant!
1, how did you make captain if you're this afraid of one guy and unable to fight back? 2, how are you going to become Commandant if you can't fight back?
I beg you, spare my life! Please, no! Not like this! I don't want to go like this!
Tell me, how many times have you heard those very words?
You know, that was really brutal and gruesome, but oh shit, Flynn.
My people have taken control of things here. The residents of this town won't suffer any longer.
That ought to put you one step closer to your next promotion. I'm heading back to the others.
Yuri, we need to talk later.
I know.
I'll be waiting, down at the lake.
Man, that's one of the best cutscenes in the game, honestly. Despite the issues I have with how Cumore acts, like, he shouldn't have been a captain if he was going to act like that. Honestly, I really wish he would have. I would have gotten to fight him, because like that would have been so satisfying, beating the shit out of him.
Who'd have guessed this town could ever be this lively?
But as it stands, it's still a great cutscene.
Yes, it's a great relief to know that people here can live freely again.
I'm still in shock that Flynn actually came.
Yuri is such a different kind of protagonist from Lloyd.
That was amazing timing!
But Cumore might just cause more pain somewhere else.
You watch. Flynn will have that guy behind bars in no time. Right, Yuri?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, totally behind bars. Yeah.
Yuri? Raven, you're gonna catch a cold.
No, he might catch pneumonia.
He wore himself out playing with all the children. You'd think he was 12 years old.
Welcome back.
They're still going out there. I can't keep up with them.
What happened to Patty?
She's still dancing. I really don't get kids.
I saw you having a good time, though. You're an awesome dancer, Rita.
Shut up.
Whack.
Huh? The old man's asleep already?
That was quick. Eerie?
Just gonna go have a word with Flynn. I'll be back.
Gonna have to talk to him about my murder streak. That's still close off. What the heck? It seems that Captain Cumore wasn't a real magistrate. He didn't want us to find out, so he prohibited the residents from going out. Oh, I think I drank too much milk. My stomach hurts. Yeah, milk, sure. Ow. That's totally what you've been drinking. It's so nice and cool at night. And I'm gonna make sure it stays peaceful at night, too.
Thank you for everything. Thanks to you, we are freed from the consular, and we can return to our normal lives.
It seems that you've saved Alf and Layla. We are in debt to you. I don't know how I can repay you.
I saw something that looked like a massive bird in the sky before we came here. I asked around, but I was the only person in the brigade who saw it. Nobody believed me.
Nothing over here to talk about? I'm just thankful to be free, I guess. You only miss something once you lose it. We've all got the Knights of the Flynn Brigade to thank for that.
Ah, what a great feeling to be free. Ugh, I've had too much to eat and drink.
Well, at least he admits he had too much to drink. The other guy saying milk, trying to convince me he had milk. The night is still young. Let's celebrate. You're tired already? Can I talk to her? I don't think I can. Who's going to be the next consular? We don't need a consular in this town. This is Menteg, and we're not under the jurisdiction of the Empire. We're free.
Mom and Dad came back, so I'm not scared at night anymore. I was worried when it was just my sister and me. Like, what if Cumore showed up? But everything's fine now that Dad's back.
What about your mom? Is she not worth mentioning?
Even flying fish can't match the distances we've traveled. I'm exhausted.
All right, Flynn.
Why don't you have a seat?
You said we needed to talk?
Tell me, why did you kill Cumore? You know it's not our place to pass sentence on the crimes of others. He was to be punished in accordance with the laws.
And just what laws do you think would have punished him? The same laws that failed to punish Rigaud? Give me a break.
Yuri, you...
The laws have always been the tools of whoever happens to hold all the chips.
Just saying that doesn't make it right for individuals to judge right from wrong, or for you to operate your own private court of law. If the laws are at fault, then fixing those laws comes first. It's for that very reason that I'm still with the Imperial...
But you can't deny that lives were saved because those bastards were put down. You'd rather tell those people, sorry you have to die today, I promise we'll change things soon.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
They're out there, you know. People so bad they'll just go on hurting others. What can the average person do but be victimized by people like that? You know it was the same way with our people in the lower quarter.
Even so, Yuri, what you're doing isn't right. Do you intend to rain your justice down on all the villains of the world? That's the behavior of a common criminal.
I recognize it for what it is, and I've made my choices. Murder is a crime.
And even knowing that, you intend to dirty your hands.
Intend to? I already have.
So this is the path you've chosen.
It's kind of interesting following Yuri rather than Flynn, because, like, you'd think normally Flynn would be the protagonist. But no, we go down the dark path.
Don't make me repeat myself.
I won't. But it seems you don't yet understand the full weight of your choices. As a knight, I cannot overlook your crimes.
Captain, I finally found you!
What is it?
Our barricade of Nordopolica has been completed. Also, it appears that the hunting blades are on the move. Sir, we must go to Nordopolica quickly.
Nordopolica, huh?
Captain!
Understood.
Sir!
Yuri?
He gave us this
chance. I know you
chance.
better than anyone alive, Yuri. If you insist on walking down the path of a criminal.
Oh, wait!
Uh-oh.
Repeat! Yuri.
So, you heard it all?
I'm sorry.
Are you afraid of me, Estelle? If you are, you can quit right here. Join Flynn and go back to the castle.
I'm not going back.
Hey.
It's true the things you've done are against the law, but I'm confused. It's also true that your actions saved the lives of others.
You
never know. Someday I might turn my blade on you.
You'd never do something like that without a reason. If you ever end up pointing your sword at me, I'm sure I will have done something to deserve it.
If you're going to go with Flynn, now's your chance. You seem like he was in a hurry.
No, I'm gonna continue on this journey with you. It's what I want. Traveling with you, I know I'll find the right path for myself, too. So what I'm thinking is... here's to the road ahead.
It's hard to say what the right thing is. But he did help people. Thanks for the lurk, Druid. She does.
Oh, I haven't sawed logs like that for a good long while.
Yeah, it's called oversleeping.
We're ready to hit the road, so get that sleep out of your eyes.
Hey, old man, your eyes are all droopy.
What? That's not good.
Jeez.
Huh? There are fewer knights than before.
Yeah, Flynn and his crew went back to Nordopolica.
That must mean they were traveling by night.
If you turn your blade on me, there will be a reason. Remember that line.
Was there some emergency they had to deal with?
They wanted to eat some fish, so they went back to Nordopolica.
Oh, come on, Patty. They're not like you. Maybe they had to take care of the monsters from the Colosseum.
I'll bet Palestrale requested the help of the knights.
We'll have to wait and see. Well, it's just that Flynn said something about a barricade.
Barricade? What could that mean?
Are they out to arrest Bellius for what happened in the Great War?
Possibly.
I can't imagine that Palestrale would be outmaneuvered that easily by the knights.
I get the feeling this is gonna get messy.
Maybe we should think twice about heading back to Nordopolica for now.
But the new moon's almost here. If we miss this chance, who knows when we might meet Bellius again?
If I can't go to Nordopolica, I can't get on a ship. If I don't get on a ship, I won't be able to find the Maristella or recover my memory.
That's all well and good. I'm just not in a hurry to get tangled up with that armor-wearing bunch.
It really does feel like Patty's just there to add dialogue and no one really pays attention to it most of the time.
Me neither.
We'll just have to be careful, like always. No use panicking about it.
Don't forget, I want to take a look at the air crane and Kados.
Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. All right, let's head out.
Reunited with everyone. Still got the good party. Cool.
I can't take it anymore. I'm seriously gonna starve.
Can I eat a gel?
No.
Does the pooch look a little scary to anyone else?
Oh, he's probably just hungry enough for his wild instincts to kick in.
The pooch isn't the only one about to go wild.
I'm no good at diets, seriously.
This isn't a diet, it's a fast. Why do we have to stop eating too?
We can't have delicious smells just wafting by. We're just as hungry as you are.
What a tyrant.
Okay, I get it. I haven't cooked anything in a while. Game. There you go, have some freaking food. Oh, this is opened up. Cool.
I'm gonna kill you dead, baby, yeah. So dead, I don't want... Hey, I'm just kidding. Just imitating Mr. Fu, see?
Okay, so nothing happens right now. Alright, time to head back to Nordopolica.
Good day.
Are you going to the Wiesent of Kados?
Yes, we are. Why do you ask?
The Imperial Knights have sealed off passage through Kados. It's not just here. They've set up blockades at all of the routes through the mountains.
Blockades? Why would they...
I don't know all the details, but I heard that it has something to do with some danger in Nordopolica.
You do not look like you have that voice.
What should we do? We need to get to Nordopolica before the new moon.
I wish I could help, but they wouldn't even let me through, and I have a travel permit.
Are you a member of the Fortunes Market?
Yes.
How'd you get your permit?
The Empire issues travel permits to Fortune's Market so that its members can travel wherever they want. At least, that's how it's supposed to be.
Right. But the Imperial Knights wouldn't let me go any further. I'm going back to Mantake, since there's no way to get around them.
Yeah, that's actually...
Should we go back to Mantake and chill out too?
restricting trade right there.
What are we gonna do?
Do you think Flynn ordered the blockades?
I couldn't say. Either way, we can't afford to be stuck here for much longer.
Yes, it'll be a lot of trouble if we miss the new moon.
But I don't think they'd let us through, even if we asked nicely.
Well, to be honest, we can go take a look and think about how to get in. The hard part will only come once we've gotten inside.
What do you mean, once we've gotten inside?
They set up blockades to make it hard to get out of the mountains. Getting inside shouldn't be nearly as tough. I think that much is safe to assume.
Well then, should we go back to Mantake to do some final preparations?
No, we're fine. Let's go like we are.
Yeah, we're fine.
Things are bound to improve here in Mantake, now that Flynn's liberated the town.
They did allow the ringleader to escape, though.
Humor? Flynn will catch him in no time, right, Yuri?
Oh yeah, sure he will.
Is something wrong? He looked troubled.
Estelle's not her usual perky self either.
Oh,
That's
boy.
not true. I'm as happy as you all are that Mantake's been freed.
If you say so.
The Flynn Brigade.
So that's the blockade?
Yeah, looks like it was Flynn's brigade's doing after all. But what are those monsters doing here?
Perhaps they've been tamed by the Knights?
This brigade is
Probably.
reminding me of Flynn less and less. What the hell is Flynn doing with his knights anyway?
With hardcore tactics like this, there ain't any doubt in my mind this has something to do with the talk of Bellius engineering the Great War.
So how do we get past this checkpoint?
Huh? Seriously? Let's do that! And then?
What could they be talking about?
Old man, do you mind keeping it down?
Sorry, sorry. Now that sounds like fun. How about this?
What the hell? Stop it! Settle down!
Let's go now.
Hey, hey!
Distraction.
Don't leave this old man behind!
What the? Come back, you!
Yuri Lowell!
Oh shit, it's Sodia.
See ya! Have fun!
Well, that was
That was
interesting.
pretty slick, old man.
What are you saying? That was all thanks to Patty. Humans work a lot harder when they get rewarded, don't they?
Rewarded? What are you talking about?
That's our little secret. It's just between us, right, Patty?
So annoying.
Okay, so what did Patty offer?
It's our little secret.
What is that nonsense?
It's probably some useless promise of theirs. Anyway, let's keep moving.
Your friend is quite talented, considering the ease with which he saved Mantake.
Who, Flynn? That was nothing for him.
You know him really well, don't you, Yuri?
Well, we've hung around together since we were kids.
You don't hang around together much anymore, though.
Yuri?
We don't see eye to eye anymore, though. I don't think I fought this one, so I'm
Don't
gonna have
hurt us
to.
now.
Yep, scannables. The Quieta. I like Quieta better.
Oh, power the trust.
There we go. Okay, but you decided to come after Estelle, so you're going down first.
Take that! Crushing it!
And you're down. Cool. I don't know why stabbing into the ground would cause enemies to spin, but I do enjoy watching them do so.
I'm just getting started.
They had to give us tougher enemies to fight since we've been through a bunch already. Ow. Stupid web attack. How dare you DDoS me, spider creature.
Take this! Alright, who's next? Take this!
That's over.
A new skill under my belt.
Hooray! New skills! Okay, we're not doing stuff in the desert anymore, so I'm going to swap to Flamberge now. Closing everything off.
Only the Empire has enough power to cut off all the ways in and out of a whole town.
Well, the Guild's power is totally different. The Union would never try something like this.
It's the Empire's style, crush problems with everything they've got. What are they after? Who do they think they are, sealing off all the roads like this?
I think the answer to that lies in Nordopolica. We should hurry before we're caught.
Yee. Wait, this wasn't here before. Sinclair Saber. It's weaker than the Flamberge, so I'm going to use that for now. I think that was more for Estelle, though.
It looks like they aren't following us.
That was pretty fun.
Hey, this is no game.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Combining Patty's brain with my technique.
2 heads are better than 1.
Yeah, but they went and sealed off a dangerous place like this just to isolate Nordopolica. These guys mean business.
Seriously, even bringing monsters to help?
Whatever they're doing, it can't be good.
I can't believe that Flynn would order something like this. Hey, what kind of person is Flynn?
He's Yuri's friend. I've heard they've known each other since they were children.
Yep.
Sometimes orders coming down from the top don't make sense. The meaning can get lost going down the chain of command.
Who's not following? Sodia and the other knights that were blockading the exit to the Wizened of Kados.
When a brigade gets big and famous enough, things can start to get out of hand.
You certainly know a lot about these things.
We pulled
Makes
a trick
sense
on
for
them to
someone
get
in
by.
Altosk.
So it's kind of surprising they're not following.
Things can end up like that no matter what the organization.
What worries me is how much of a hand Flynn had in all this.
I'm sure we'll get a good understanding of that as soon as we can get to Nordopolica.
That's right.
But we should be on our guard.
Of course.
Even though I find it hard to believe that they've conquered Nordopolica by force.
Yeah, I think the Palestrale would have a problem with that.
Sorry, Rita. You
The
won't get much time to
Palestrale.
investigate the Air Crene.
Ugh, oh well. I don't have much choice. It'd be bad if they caught up to us.
Exactly. Come on, let's get going.
Yuri sure is enthusiastic.
He won't say it, but I reckon he's just worried about his friend.
Do Flynn and Yuri really have that strong of a bond?
Well, you could call it strong, I guess.
Yep.
Maybe.
I can
What?
hear the difference
Are
in their
you
voices.
jealous?
I'll have to hold a
Alright.
strategic meeting to stop Yuri from being snatched away from me.
In both of the Raven voices. Is what I meant.
So what was that deal you were talking about?
A deal? What sort of deal? With who?
You said something about a deal with the old man when we were in Kados.
We're
Don't
still in
tell me you
Kados.
forgot.
No. I haven't forgotten.
She forgot. So it's a secret, is it?
I'll tell you, Yuri, since I can trust you.
I appreciate it.
If he works hard here, I'll teach him Judy's measurements.
Wow.
You really know how his mind works, don't you?
It's not exactly a mystery.
What's up? Shouldn't we be hurrying along?
Hey, you're not as young as you used to be. Let's take it easy.
Seconded.
What do you mean?
Given how Judy acts, I'm pretty sure she'd give up that information willingly.
Ooh, I can't wait to fight this one. We must be cautious.
What the heck?
Take this! You like that?
Oh, really? An angel's
This thing is
friend?
taking... Holy crap! What the hell?
Nurse!
You like that? You like that?
How?
Damn it!
Maybe I can...
Am I under-leveled?
You.
This'll hurt!
This is...
Take this!
How much of a difference is the weapon that I have? 322, 132. Hold on. Gazelle says die. Hold on, I'm confused. The weapon I put on is weaker than... is stronger than the Flamberge. I didn't hit that button. Super Chain 4. Magic Guard Plus. I honestly don't know what's going on there, but...
You like that? You like that? You like that?
Is everyone okay?
Crushing Eagle!
I need to get rid of those beasts. They're doing the most damage.
Take this! You like that? You like that? You like that? Gotcha. You like that?
Yeah, oh. Yeah, once they were gone, it was so much easier.
What are you looking at? I wish I could bounce.
I cannot be under-leveled. It's super weird how badly that went. A ton of stun lock with the Gazelle. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Don't get careless.
It does some serious damage with each of its hits. And it does like 4 of them in one shot.
Crushing Eagle! Draconian Slash!
Oh, power that tries souls shine! Are you okay?
I will take your orange gel, Estelle. Thank you.
I'm just getting started.
Okay.
Try not to take too long, okay?
Sure. It's completely inactive now, and it was overflowing so much before. Is that how the air was controlled? How could a monster do something like that?
Is that air Krene safe now?
We'll be in trouble if air shoots out of it like before.
It doesn't look like you have to worry about that.
So why'd the air suddenly shoot out before?
That's what's puzzling me.
150 per. Yeah, 600 damage. Each attack sequence, that was quite a bit of damage.
Maybe it was just a natural phenomenon?
The probability of that is low at best. If that was the case, it should be emitting air at regular intervals.
If air were emitted that frequently, it'd have an effect on the environment.
Like how the plants grew so unnaturally in Cave Mock.
Looks pretty normal around here to me.
So perhaps something else interfered with the air Krene and caused it to discharge air? What could do that? Only a formula or Blastia could affect air like that.
That's not gurring. That was more barking than growling.
Damn, that would be our fan club. Seems like these knights are just as dedicated as the captain himself.
Oh, look, they're following us now.
Rita, let's go. Are you done looking at the air Krene?
Just let me think a little more.
If you just need time to think, you'll have plenty of time once we've gotten out of here.
All right. If the air Krene was disturbed by...
Did you figure anything out?
It's still too early to say. I've got some leads, but it's nothing I can be sure of yet.
Well, make sure and let us know when you've nailed it down.
I will.
All right, let's head out.
And it'll probably involve you.
Him? What? What did he do? Hey, Knights, let's fight.
You'll be gone soon enough.
I didn't have enough, punishment, apparently. Yep.
Sorry.
Definitely why you don't say anything like that. Jeez.
Take this!
This is bad.
No way!
Sorry.
Shining Flame!
These things are a huge pain. Okay.
Blow you away! No, what? Take this! You're dead!
Nurse!
Divine Wolf! We'll finish you! Crushing Eagle!
I got no time to think.
Just beat him senseless, then you'll win.
Hey, Gazelle, it's time to die. And these guys are just normal, easy, normal hard, rather than bullshit hard.
Take this!
Oh, brilliant angels, grant us your favor. Is that the best
Crushing
you
Eagle!
Nurse!
Alright, who's next? Take this! This is it! You're done!
Crescent Moon! The sign of victory!
Okay, those were easy. Never mind. No thanks, bad. I'm good. No thanks, bad. I'm good. Ah, Gazelle!
There's a nasty one.
Ooh, scary. Very scary.
Oh, power that cries souls shine!
I'm getting gangbanged right here.
Oh, brilliant angels, grant us your favor.
Take this!
Nurse!
You like that? Sorry. You like that? You can't take this!
The Knights also have something like that.
Take this! You like that? Hey!
You mean like I just did?
Take this! You like that?
Oh, brilliant angels, grant us your favor.
They probably won't be around without the Knights, mainly because they're supposed to be trained by the Knights.
Thanks.
There we go. You bastard.
You like that? Take this!
Estelle, can you heal me, please?
You like
Oh, she's being chased, that's why.
The sign of victory!
Okay.
I'm not done.
What are you guarding? That treasure chest is already open.
Take cover.
Oh god, it's them.
Huh. Guess it's only natural they're guarding this end, too.
Patty, do you have any ideas for getting through? Raven, can you do something like you did before?
Best not to press your luck when the Knights are taking their work so seriously.
They don't look that serious from here.
I say, woe is me!
I mean, it's just these three. We could probably take them.
How has our illustrious Schwann Brigade ever been reduced to playing backup for Flynn?
Enough complaining. If you don't like it, we better produce some results.
There they are! Capture them!
They found us!
What is this?
This is a problem.
You three, don't let him escape!
If it isn't Mr. Yuri Lowell!
Yuri learned evade too. That's glorious timing since he just got nuked by a paragon.
Hey, LeBlanc. It's been a while.
And Your Highness!
What are we gonna do?
Oh well. Here goes nothing.
Wait!
Attention!
Yes, sir!
Not sure what's going on, but now's our chance.
Okay, Raven, what did you do?
Huh? Whoa!
Raven, what did you do?
It's nothing. Enough standing around. They'll catch up in no time if we don't get moving.
We can't miss this chance.
Yeah, let's head for Nordopolica, quick.
Back to weak enemies. Oops, I didn't mean that. I wasn't even paying attention to that.
I won't lose!
Take this! Draconic slash! Ow!
I missed that one.
That worked.
Oh well. Not like it matters. These guys are super easy compared to the gazelles.
That's great. So don't pick any more fights.
Yeah, I was looking at where that led, and I don't think it leads to anything. That path over there. Running through a field. Hey, you, go away. You too. Man, they're really pressing their luck. Okay. Good there. I don't have enough for that. Okay. My bad. I'll leave what she has on. Occasionally steal gold when escaping from battle, but I don't escape, so that wouldn't be useful. Automatically use magic lens when Patty defeats an enemy not already registered in the monster book. I mean, that would be great if I didn't use magic lenses anyways. Rise attack. No rise attack, actually. I don't like that one. Magic 2. Definitely have to give her that. Reflect, I guess. And he doesn't need light force on. Increase the strength of a spell when a light bow is equipped. And the other one was that it? Ah, there it is. Increases physical defense when a heavy bow is equipped. I almost... Yep, that... Okay. Lots of people here. Apparently they disappeared.
Not as many knights as I'd have guessed.
Yeah, security looks normal even with all the commotion after the tournament.
It did sound like they had their hands full with the monsters that managed to escape.
Yeah, but it's too quiet. Especially compared to the checkpoints back at Kados. I think Raven's got it right. The knights are up to something, and I don't like it.
But it looks like we can stay in town as long as we don't stand out.
So we'll meet with Belius on the evening of the new moon, which happens to be tonight.
We can stay in town as long as we don't stand out. Looks at everyone's costumes, especially Yuri's. Not happening.
Let's stop by the inn to freshen up and then go see about meeting her. I'm finally gonna be able to get rid of the Don's letter.
Patty, what are you doing hiding over there?
Don't you remember? A lot of things happened the last time she was here.
Come on out. It'll be okay.
Poor girl.
Is it alright for me to be with you guys for just a little longer?
Huh? Sure. We don't mind, do we?
Right. It'd probably be best if we stuck together until we left town.
I have a feeling that even if we parted ways here, we'd still end up meeting again real soon. So basically, there's no difference between us being together or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened like 2 or 3 times now, so...
I
Might as
really
well
don't
stay.
get that logic.
I'm sure you're all heading in the direction of the Maristella.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
In other words,
In other words, you want to come with us, right?
rather than traveling by myself, traveling with you guys is more profitable.
If you want to come, then come. At this point, I really don't mind an extra travel companion or two.
I mean, I do have that statue equipped to me that increases my gold gain after battles. So yeah, probably more profitable.
That's the spirit.
I wonder if Flynn's already here somewhere.
Do you think?
When we finish up all our business here, I've got a few things I want to ask that guy.
When you do, take me with you.
Yee. Alright, heading up here. Don't have a lot of money, so... That's a Schwann Brigade Knight. Alright. I'm going to go get something to eat because I'm pretty dang hungry. I'll be back in a few minutes. Enjoy the uplifting music of Pamgaea. Okay, I got something to eat. Nice, quick make, basically TV dinner fettuccine chicken Alfredo. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and stay at the inn for a bit. Because I got wrecked by some gazelles. Oh, apparently that's part of the story too.
Is everyone ready to go?
Right, because it had to be night.
Sure.
You're shaking, Carol.
Confronting the big cheese of a major guild about his involvement with the Great War is pretty intimidating.
Yeah, it's not the best food, but when you're running on a budget, Michelina's is probably one of the better options. It's really cheap, but it still tastes pretty good.
Come on, he's a normal person, just like us. There's nothing to be afraid of.
But...
Carol, you just don't know when to give up, do you?
My, Patty, you've got nerves of steel.
You're sure the brave one, Missy. I'm impressed.
I'm just doing my best to be strong.
You don't have to come if you don't want to, Estelle.
I like how that's pointing towards Judith, even though Rita's the one talking.
I can't back down anymore. I don't want to. I want to know about myself. About who I really...
Sounds like you're ready to go.
So then, let's go see Bellius.
Just my imagination?
You think something's going on? Bellius is a she. I don't need to buy anything right now. Wait, do I? I probably need some healing stuff. Because this is going to be a tough battle. Cool, let's get going. I don't know why they keep saying he, because they pretty much established that Bellius is a she. Then again, they do that quite a bit with other things that shouldn't be flopped.
We've come to meet with Bellius.
You're... Oh, weren't you the emissary sent by Dun Whitehorse?
Yep, it's a bit urgent, so if you wouldn't mind letting me through.
You may enter. However, I must ask the rest of you to withdraw.
What? But why?
Are you trying to say we can't be trusted or something?
I'm afraid that is what it amounts to.
Ah, your app is messing up. I guess I'll just shovel some of this in my mouth while I wait.
But you can trust that we'll be even more tight-lipped than a giant clam. For sure.
Let them pass.
There we go. There's the proof that it's she.
Duce, but
I have spoken.
Now that's more like it.
Yes, Duce. I ask only that you not speak of anything you see here to anyone.
Not speak of what we see? Why not?
This is one of Polystrale's guild laws.
Ah, the app is being bratty about the update. Okay. I feel much better after that.
Okay then, we promise.
Our leader, Bellius, is waiting just ahead.
I'm pretty sure that down there was a warehouse. And this would be Bellius's room. I honestly kind of want to wait for Drew to get back. Because of the surprise that's in store. Give me 1 second. Still frozen? Uptime, I've been live for about 2 hours and 43 minutes. You're back. Cool. Returning to the game. We're about to meet Bellius.
Hey! What's going on?
Everybody still here?
Yes.
I like how Raven says yo.
A monster!
And here I had secret hopes we'd get a gourmet meal out of this. Wasn't expecting a trap.
This isn't a trap. She is...
Bellius?
The very same. I am Bellius, Duce of Nordopolica, and founder of Polystrale.
Didn't see this coming.
Here we get to learn a lot.
So you can speak our language as well.
You encountered Pharaoh some time ago, did you not? I would not think then that our ability to use your tongue should come as a surprise.
So you're an Antilocheia too?
That is so.
Then the ancient race that built this city was...
My brethren and I.
If this city was built hundreds and hundreds of years ago, that would mean...
Indeed. We have governed this city for ages.
Wow! That's amazing!
Good old Don. How nice of him to keep me in the dark on this.
You probably figured you'd want to learn it by yourself.
And who might you be?
A humble servant of Don Whitehorse. I've got a letter for you from him. I've known that old badger too long to be surprised by who he knows. But just how are you connected?
I am indebted to him for his assistance during the Great War.
The Great War? So the rumors that you were one of the masterminds behind it are true?
Well, I did participate in the war. However, I never exceeded that which my duty as an Intellicaea required. I was not a mastermind of anything.
The Great War was fought against the Intellicaea.
At any rate, my acquaintance with the Dawn dates from those times. I have long lamented that a man of his talent was not born instead as one of my race.
That's the first I've heard the old man had anything to do with the Great War.
It is a subject he takes little pleasure in discussing.
So the Dawn was involved in the Great War as well.
The Dawn has requested my mediation in the current trouble with Pharaoh. It would seem that even a man of his strength cannot stand against my brother's assault upon his city. Such a request cannot lightly be brushed aside. I shall offer my assistance for the time being.
Glad to see you're so reasonable.
So some of you tear down cities and some of you run guilds. You Intellicaea are definitely interesting.
It's almost like they're people.
The same might be said of you humans, I would imagine.
Aye, that be true.
Now then, this letter is not the sole reason for your visit, is it, child of the full moon?
You know about Estelle?
We Intellicaea can sense the child of the full moon.
My name is Estelise. I have to know, what exactly is the child of the full moon? Pharaoh called me an insipid poison, but what does that mean?
I know not whether your fate may be swayed by such knowledge, but...
Bellius, listen.
Judith?
Is there something of which I should be aware?
Pharaoh is...
Huh?
What the hell's all that racket?
At last, we found you, Intellicaea! Leader of monsters! Origin of evil!
That was... Okay. That was an interesting way of entering.
Tyson! Boss!
Well, if it isn't Carol and friends, you've got some twisted tastes hanging out with freaks like this!
Keeping monsters to use in your Colosseum? You're an enemy of humanity, and now you die!
You're pretty barbaric for a friend of Carol's.
Who the hell is this little brat?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't give my name to rapscallions.
As if I really care.
Where's Nan?
Curious, huh? She should be leading the raid on the remaining monsters in the Colosseum about now. We Hunting Blades give no quarter to any who would obstruct the justice we mete out, humans or no.
If you won't attack, then I'll make the first move, beast!
Shit, they sure won't listen, will they?
It seems these men will not be stayed lest I take arms against them. It is asking much of you, but please help Nats.
What about you?
I am not to be outdone by mere humans.
Gotcha. Let's get out of here.
Good luck.
Well, that was nice until, things went bad.
Who do they think they are? What a bunch of total clods.
I thought the knights were the ones who had business in Nordopolica.
I never would have guessed we'd end up running into the Hunting Blades.
What are they all doing here?
Don't know exactly, but you can be sure it's got to do with Bellius.
Could it be that the knights, I mean Flynn, came because of Bellius as well?
We'll have to ask the Duce. For now, though, we gotta see if we can get things under control.
Yeet. Let's go.
This one's strong.
Get ready for any...
Yeah, I must be under-leveled for them to say something like that. I'm gonna have to take some time after stream to grind. Oh, I used it on the same side. Oops.
Just grant us your favor.
Wait, are they named after types of Barley, rye, and grain. Okay. Okay. That's an interesting way to name your enemies, but sure, let's go with that. Somehow I missed that completely. Okay. They're a lot easier than those stupid gazelle. Hello. No. There we go.
We have a great opening now.
I think I've already got everyone here. Cool.
Let's party!
Ooh, nice moves.
Never thought I'd lose.
Angels, grant us your favor.
Draconian slash!
Alright, let's take them out.
This is it!
Hey, no gazelle attack. How did I miss that?
Victory is a whirling tide!
I almost had it, but I missed it apparently.
Sorry if I hurt you.
Gotcha. These guys are kind of easy with the fatal strike.
That's over.
I did 3 fatal strikes in one fight. That is pretty dang good. I keep forgetting that I can stun them or freeze them or something. I just keep going on ahead. Yeah, you don't like that, did you? Quit blocking, bro.
That was a breeze.
That guy just got right fucked at the end. Notice how everything has like 30 times more health than anyone in your party. Yeah. That's a typical thing of the Tales series. JRPGs in general, actually.
I suppose I could try.
13,300 versus 2,226.
Oh, power that tries soul shine. Draconian slash. Starstroke.
That guy just whacked me a couple times and then ran away.
Wonderful.
Never thought I'd lose.
Take this. Just grant us your favor. You can't just lie around. Power that tries so hard. Are you okay?
Do your thing.
Brilliant angels, grant us your favor. Are there any more foes about? These are the
I love juggling them. It's fun. Just hearing that. Ooh, 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 ooh.
This is awful. Could Nan have done this?
You alright?
Nats has gone to defend the Colosseum from the hunting blades. Please, you gotta help him.
Wait, If
No.
only we'd come sooner.
He dead.
This is not the time for regrets.
Man, I shouldn't have spent so much time fighting the enemies there. I could have dodged a few.
We've
and
got to go help
maybe
that
saved
Nats
him.
guy.
Yeah, which means going up.
Not really, but you know. We have to go into the Colosseum.
The Colosseum is now under the authority of the Hunting Blades. Withdraw immediately!
Nan! You've got to stop!
Carol, what are you doing here?
You know that fights between guilds are strictly forbidden by the Union.
What are you talking about? This job was commissioned to us directly by the Union itself.
What? Harry, what are you doing here?
It's even more hilarious if you think about the fact that in reality, a bunch of weaklings are running around the world annihilating everything. Yep. Yeah, it is.
Hey, isn't that someone from the Union we met in Dongrest?
That's the Don's grandson, Harry.
Even though, by all rights, they should have died by now. You're not wrong.
The Don's grandson?
Just what in blazes is going on here, son?
You're under the same orders from the Don yourself, right? To locate Apatheia?
Sure, but what does that have to do with all the commotion here?
Judith! What's the matter?
There!
Nuts!
Come on!
Damn it! I wasn't done with them!
Wait! I thought I ordered you to withdraw!
Who cares about what you ordered? You're on the wrong side.
Raven is with them, and he's an ally. Let them be.
Nan!
Aw, down to your last friend? Why not play with us for a while?
More of Belius's minions, huh?
No, we're an outside group.
We're brave Vesperia!
I don't care how brave you are. Death to those who side with the monsters!
We don't side with monsters.
Don't hurt us now.
That's why we're fighting you. Or gay.
Chance with your star! Risky cast!
Here.
Pepe. I'm fighting Pepe. He doesn't look very frog-like to me. Wasn't there another one? Ale. We has pizza? Interesting timing since I just ate some Michelinas, but I'll take us some. Cool, I'll be right in there. Zah, dude. This was not cut very well. It's literally tearing. Oh well, I'll have to eat it in pieces. Alright, let's continue this fight. Ow. Ow!
To use items
I just got wrecked. Oh, don't tell me how to use items.
Oh, brilliant angels, grant us your favor. Oh, brilliant
Why am I getting... Oh, there must be more of these enemies than I thought there were. Like, they're coming in after I defeat each one.
Oh, brilliant angels, grant us your favor.
Man, these guys are just going crazy.
How's the pizza cut? Well, it's cut normally, but it's like, as I try and pull it apart, it just tears rather than going along the cut. So, yeah, looking at it, it's like it's not even cut all the way through. Oh, cook.
Ooh, that's nice.
It's okay, Nats, you're okay.
Looks like we got here in time.
You must be a healer. You've saved me.
I wonder if Belius is okay.
Speak of the devil.
Duce!
Nats, you are unhurt. You would yet challenge me, humans?
Your kind is the root of all evil.
Are they really?
The root of evil, Belius? You got it all wrong. Just look.
All monsters serve evil. They must be hunted down. It is up to us, to the hunting blades.
These idiots have got rocks for brains.
You monsters are all alike.
Judy!
Duce!
I'll heal you.
You mustn't. Your power is...
And...
No. What can this mean?
It's glowing like it did when the Blastia went out of control.
She reacted to Estelle's formula? But this is...
What's going on?
You're right, squares are terrible cuts.
I was too late.
What have I done?
If this keeps up, it'll bring down the Colosseum.
Duce Belius! Please control yourself! Duce!
She was wondering why the Entellicaea don't like the child of the full moon.
We have no choice but to try and stop her with force.
But we're dead if we hold anything back against someone like this.
I can't believe this!
But it doesn't look like we have a choice.
Belius.
Estelle, wake up!
Right.
Here she comes!
Kill or be killed. Huh? Sorry.
96,000?
But
Cool.
I'm not getting killed here.
Ow!
Was I wrong?
No, you weren't. You weren't.
What is my power? The poison that Pharaoh talked about.
Live.
Yeah, this is difficult.
Take this.
Let have it. Oh, brilliant angels, grant us your favor.
I will say, when I first did this, I had the game paused because I was like, I don't want to fight her. I just had the game paused for like 10 minutes, being like, I don't want to fight her. I felt so bad.
You cannot make your strike.
I don't have Rita. That's a bit of a problem. I forgot about that.
Is that the best you can do?
Run!
That's what I'm doing, Bellius. Ow. Ow. Jeez. Yep, same. And this is where I'd need Rita, because I'm supposed to relight these lamps with her fire magic, but I don't have her, so I can't do that, so I have to fight two Bellius now. So this fight is super hard now. Ah! If I fail, I'm going to bring Rita in with me. I died. That was quick. Oh, Jesus.
Run! I'm not finished. Sorry. I'm sorry. Blow you away. I'm sorry.
Ow. I got interrupted during my burst start. You bastard. I got killed. You bastard. I was a little distracted with something. I'm still fighting the double. But it's looking like I might be able to fight him. Or might be able to deal with it. Assuming I don't have two of them at once. Yeah, I made a mistake. That's my fault. I'm dealing with it. I meant to actually hit that, but... that should make it much easier. I don't mean easy, it's just easier.
You cannot snake yourself.
Maybe it is easy. There we go. I was wondering where the hard went. Ow.
I'm sorry.
I'm okay.
Run! I'll blow you away.
Sorry. Thanks.
Shining Force! Crushing Eagle! You're dead!
Well, is it over?
It's...
I didn't get the secret mission because I didn't have Rita. But that's fine. I'm out of beef bowl.
Oh, I feel so powerful.
Yeah, I know. It sucks when you... Like, it's not like I've had a lot of interaction with Bellius, but she did nothing to deserve what happened to her. That was my issue with having to fight her.
It's over!
Duce! No!
What now?
I never thought this would happen.
I'm sorry.
Worry not. You were thinking only of saving me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Power corrupts, but you are different. Never lose that kindness, the compassion you so readily show to others. Now, go to Pharaoh, if you would learn of your destiny.
To Pharaoh?
There is much I owe you. Do not harbor a grudge toward these people.
Duce! No!
Wait! No, I beg you, don't go!
Bellius, farewell.
Is this the same as what was in the case from the ghost ship?
An Apatheia!
What does that mean?
Convey my soul, this cyano seal, to my ally, Don Whitehorse.
So, this must have been what Harry meant.
Humans, we'll be taking that stone.
No, fuck you. Fuck off, Clint.
Is this what you guys were after? Hope you don't think we'll just let it go.
Then, we'll just have to pound on you until you do.
That's enough! Everyone throw down your weapons!
Damn, look who's here.
You! Take anyone still standing in the Colosseum into custody.
We're gonna wind up in chains if we don't blow this scene.
But we haven't done anything to warrant being arrested.
I don't think they'd have any trouble cooking up a reason to put us behind bars.
You're right. Escape is our best option.
I've secured an escape. Hurry!
Okay, we're getting out of here for now.
It's yellow!
No, I don't want to go anywhere. My power, it really is a poison. I thought I could help her, but I only brought about her death. I couldn't save her.
What are you doing?
There, you saved me, didn't you?
What? But I...
Let's move.
Fuck Yuri goes hardcore, doesn't he?
Okay.
Wait!
Raven, what are you doing? Raven left the party.
Bellius, how could something like this happen?
There was still so much we needed to ask.
Yeah. Think of all the knowledge that only an Entelakea would have.
Not to mention her perspective as the Duce Palestrale. Why couldn't we have met her sooner?
Yuri.
Man. Things went down. Hey. Can I buy stuff from you? It's fine. I know people are chasing after me, but I want stuff. And I'll take some of these, and some of those, and some of that. You know what, I'll just take all of this, and, you know, whatever's on that wall over there. I'm sure it's all good. What just happened? God, they have a lot of food. That's about all I can afford, though. Luckily, it's almost everything. I can make some more beef bowls. Not that I need to, because he's mastered it. Let's go with curry for a little while. Yeah. Double check that I mastered everything above that. Okay.
This place is swarming with knights.
We've no choice but to go out through the harbor then.
But what if the harbor's blockaded too?
Well, the Wiesent of Kados is blocked off.
They changed the pronunciation of that, apparently. I need this as a story now. People are chasing me, stops at every store, and they can't find you because you're being so illogical. You just hear them, where did they go? Well, you think they went into this store? Nah, that would be stupid. Let's keep moving.
If we have to get out of here, I'd say breaking out through the harbor is our best bet.
Ah, escaping by sea might be better, yes.
Exactly. Sorry, Patty, but can I ask you to pilot the ship?
Aye aye, leave it to me. Time to show you what I can do. I hope it's actually got a new Ceres Blastia, though.
Perfect. Then I'll handle the Blastia. Hey, where's the old man?
You don't need to worry about him. He'll turn up soon enough.
He always does.
Right. He's the sort of guy who shows up as soon as you start to feel relieved he's gone.
Yuri Lowell, this is the end of the line.
Oh, hello, Sodia.
Lady Esteles, you must return with us. Captain Flynn is worried about you.
Shut up, Witcher.
But
Estelle's not going back with you.
All right, let's hurry to the harbor.
That's one way to stop people from following you. Hey, I'm gonna blow you up. Oh.
Flynn.
Looks like we can't put one over on this guy.
Return Lady Esteles and the stone.
Flynn, what do you want with the Apatheia?
So the knights are trying to get a hold of this thing too.
That's why the hunting blades were here.
It's like what that guy in Yormgen said. The Apatheia brings only chaos to humanity. So it's true.
Hand it over.
Whoa, is he serious?
Just what the hell are you doing? Using the military to get control of the city? That's taking things a bit far.
This just happens constantly throughout the game. And it's all because of one character that they stop at the stores even though the rest of the party is so spooked. And they don't learn to trust the character that insists on stopping at the stores.
Maybe you're carrying out your duty. But you can't just go around doing everything by force.
Captain, awaiting orders.
I thought you were with the knights to change things like that. I don't know why I'm the one who has to be saying this stuff. You know it full well yourself. Cat got your tongue? I mean, how's this any different from what I've come to expect from the Empire? Are you gonna follow Rago and Kumor's examples?
If I did, would you just kill me as well? Would you do away with me like you did Rago and Kumor?
Uh-oh, it's out in the open now.
Huh? What is he?
If you go and become a villain, you won't be giving me much choice.
Yuri?
You mind saving this charming little squabble for another time? We're sort of in a hurry, right? Come on! Captain!
What was Flynn saying about Yuri and Rigaud?
Save it! You men, raise the anchor!
Yeah, man, raise the anchor.
Raven, where the fuck did you come from?
Raven! Where did you come from?
Oh yeah, see? Carol wants to know too.
Don't suppose it'd be too much trouble to take one more with us.
Hey, that's the guy!
Oh shit, we're dealing with a blockade.
Full speed ahead!
What's happening?
Yeah, Raven just keeps popping up out of nowhere. He's one of my favorite
Judy?
characters, despite being kind of a bit dirty. Uh-oh, I
Where's
forgot
this
about
power
this.
coming from? Is it the Ceres Blastia?
Yeah! We broke through!
The rudder handling's perfect.
What's the deal with this formula? I've never seen anything like it.
It's reacting with the Apatheia.
What?
What are you doing? No! Stop! Why would you...
This is the path I have chosen.
You're that dragon freak!
Man, all the things are coming out.
Judy, wait!
Goodbye.
Judith? Why? Why?
Our genius mage has given the Ceres Blastia her undivided attention. Sounds like the core on the new Blastia is pretty much totaled.
It's a good thing we had that merchant lady change the Ceres Blastia for us.
That's Kaufman for you. She always goes above and beyond in keeping her word.
So luckily we still had the old Blastia around. Either way, looks like we'll be drifting out here for now.
Looks that way.
I'm worried about the ship's heading. I'll go check it out.
What are Carol and Estelle up to?
They're a bit down in the dumps. Why don't you go check in on them?
You'd probably be better at cheering them up, old man.
You know I'm not cut out for that stuff.
Guess I've had a hand in dampening the mood around here too. Might as well see how they're doing.
It's 9:28. All the intensity just came
I knew
out.
Judy's secret would get out someday, but not like this. A little heads up would have been nice.
The rest of the message?
I don't know what to
Second
think
part?
about anything anymore.
Yeah, I saw both parts of those. Both parts of that. It sounds pretty JRPG-ish, but with humor. It's open, but there's no point in going inside. It's just a storage room. Later on, we're going to find out there's something interesting in there. It'd be fun. It would definitely be a fun game, though, Druids. Every time something goes wrong, just duck into a shop. But everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm just buying some stuff for the road ahead. Also food. We need
So
food.
many things to deal with. I'm a little mixed up. Sorry for dragging you around, Repeat. Right. There's nothing else to be sorry about after all these years. Okay, so what should we start with? Before anything else, we'll need to have the ship moving.
Whimper.
Does it look like it'll be okay?
Oh, well, it's pretty bad.
Jeez, this isn't usable at all.
Damn it. I can't believe that Judith was... Why was she with us in the first place? That dragon, Baul, right? It attacked us back in Heliord, didn't it?
You've got a good memory.
That's not the sort of thing I easily forget. Do you think they were going after Estelle back then? Yes, she knew. She knew about Estelle. You didn't already know that she was that dragon freak, did you?
Yeah.
Damn it, I
Yeah.
can't believe you!
Totally did.
We all have our reasons for what we've done. You and Judy both.
You mean...
And me too, of course.
You mean Rago and Cumor? Huh. I don't care much about what happened to them. What you did may have been a crime, but if you ask me, though the severity of the crime may differ, there's no such thing as someone suspected without cause.
Are you saying the same goes for you?
Who knows? I mean, even that woman was...
Judy was a loyal member of our party. That's how it looked to me, at least.
Yeah, that's true, but if she had just shared what she knew about the Child of the Full Moon and about the Entelekea, Estelle's problems might already have been solved by now.
It depends, doesn't it? Pharaoh told her she was poison after all.
You know, it's possible she knew where Pharaoh was from the very beginning.
Yeah, maybe so.
That's actually pretty true. She might have known.
Either way, I'll never forgive her for breaking that Blastia.
Well then, if Judy comes back, you can feel free to beat her up.
She's not coming back.
I couldn't say.
I was okay with taking out bad people on my own, but I couldn't tell the others. Not before with Estelle, and not now. I gotta face up to the choices I've made. It's been weighing on Carol, too. Who knows what'll happen to brave Vesperia?
That's a good question.
Ah, there you are, boy.
You sure have your own way of doing things, old man. Then again, I guess it's your only redeeming quality.
Only?
Hey, way to hurt a man's feelings. I've got a ton of redeeming qualities.
Like my aim with a bow.
That's one list you can just keep to yourself.
I have to tell you, I was so surprised to find out that Bellius was that beast. Sorry, I mean Entelekea, was it?
Yeah, but it seems like the story about her engineering the Great War was a lie.
Probably just an excuse the Empire made up for them to invade Nordopolica.
Maybe, yeah. So is that the Don's grandson? How'd he end up here anyway?
This idiot got fed false information by Leviathan's Claw and acted without thinking.
I heard that an ally of the Don's had been captured by a monster, and I thought I'd come to save him. And then, I heard that the monster possessed Apatheia, so...
They said that Bellius had been captured?
Apparently that's what Leviathan's Claw said. So they went down there with the hunting blades to kill the monster.
Leviathan's claws behind all this, huh?
And that monster was actually Bellius. So even though you got the Apatheia, the ally you were supposed to save ended up dying.
Yeah.
You need to learn to take things slower. Check your information before you rush out all ready for battle.
Damn it! What the hell do you know?
Things like this happen, I guess. Having the Don for a grandfather puts a lot of pressure on the boy.
I mean, kid, he is kind of old. He seems to know quite a bit.
Anyone with a grandfather like that would be expected to work their butt off, yeah.
Everyone expects too much of him, so he works hard not to let anyone down. And then things like this happen.
Palestrale's not going to be too happy about this, even if he didn't have any choice but to fight. I doubt they'll take that for an excuse.
That Nats guy should forgive us, I think.
That would be nice, but Nats isn't the Duce. It's the others in the guild we have to worry about.
Well, I don't know how to get out of this mess.
Nats might be the Duce soon.
For now, I'm going to take him to see the Don. Take the ship to Dongrest as soon as it's working again, would you?
Gotcha.
I actually do know how to get out of this, but an eye for an eye. It's a matter between guilds, after all.
It wasn't supposed to be this way.
Can you see anything?
I don't see anything at all. After what happened to Belius, and with Judith breaking our Blastia and running away, I just don't know what to think anymore.
Oh yeah?
And then you went and cut your arm like that.
That was painful.
It's not funny.
But you healed me.
I couldn't just ignore you, could I? I can't just ignore someone who's injured in front of me.
So what are you all rattled about? Don't you remember? Belius said to take good care of your kind nature.
My power is the reason that the Entelekea hate me, isn't it?
What's with you being able to use magic without Blastia?
Even if I make an effort not to use my power on the Entelekea, to them, I'll still be evil. That's why Pharaoh was trying to kill me.
But Belius said you should try to meet Pharaoh, didn't she?
Yeah, in order to discover my destiny. But I wonder, is that really right? No, that can't be. I'm the one who'll decide my destiny.
Now you've got the idea.
Patty!
How's the ship heading?
Apparently we're being pushed north by the current.
I see. Sorry for making you come all the way out here with us.
Don't worry about it. This was my plan from the beginning anyway.
Well, I'm happy that we've got someone who knows how to pilot a ship, but you've got to go treasure hunting to get your memory back, right?
That's okay. I'm just gonna take it easy. Life's longer than a bright red eel's ear or a slimy eel's body.
Longer than a bright red eel's ear or a slimy eel's body. Do bright red eels have ears? Is that a creature from in real life or just from the game? Does not seem like... Yeah, I don't think that's a thing in real life. At least bright red eels did not come up in Google. Just a bunch of random eels, and none of them had ears.
Well, that's better than living life fast and recklessly.
Besides, it ain't bad being here with you, Yuri.
I'm glad to hear that.
When I think about that, I start feeling like maybe my past doesn't really matter.
But that doesn't mean you're gonna quit searching for your memories, does it?
I'd like to know more about my grandfather.
The fact I'm looking this up is glorious. I mean, I wanted to know. Sometimes I'll say I'll look it up later and it's like, I'm gonna forget. But this one I'm like, I don't want to forget. I want to know if this is real or not.
So I can figure out what I'm going to do in the future. And how I should think about the name Eifried.
I see. Then I guess you can't stay with us forever, huh?
But I've realized that there are many more good things when I'm with others than when I'm by myself. So, when my memory returns, I'd like to travel with all of you again.
Yeah, if we get the chance, that might not be a bad idea.
When that time comes, maybe Judy can also.
I don't know.
Hopefully.
Judy has her own reasons for not being able to be with us. I hope your reasons haven't changed by then, though.
Eels do have ears? Huh.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it from the thing. It looked like they were just smooth-headed. I saw a few eel images.
What's the matter? You look more serious than usual.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how hard it is to put a guild together. I thought things might go okay since I was with you guys, but...
Have you lost faith in your ability to lead the guild?
No, not at all. I'm working as hard as I can.
All right, then I'll borrow from your attitude and do the best I can too.
Hey, Yuri, can I ask you something?
Yeah?
Is it true that you killed Rago and Cumor?
So he killed Rago, but he just let Cumor die. He didn't actually do anything to kill Cumor.
It's true.
How could you keep that from me?
I kept meaning to tell you. I'm sorry.
Even though I think it's bad. You don't regret killing them, do you?
Yeah, I don't.
I just don't know. Flynn and Estelle were trying to bring them to justice, too. Did you really have to kill them?
I think there are some things that you have to do. Even if they're a crime, someone has to do them. Even if it means taking the blame.
Maybe so, but even still.
I just did what had to be done.
Yuri is the epitome of chaotic good.
You shouldn't force yourself to try to accept what I did.
Inner ears, not outer ones? Ah.
Yeah.
Alright, that should be everyone to talk to. Let's rest while we can.
Well, I've finished making adjustments to the Blastia.
I've checked all the other parts too. Everything's ready.
That's great. We'll be able to use the boat again.
If you don't mind, I'd like to bring Harry back to Dongris first.
We can do that.
We need to head to Dongris too.
Right. We've got to deliver Bellius's Apatheia.
Why don't you let old Raven take care of that for you? What do you say?
We couldn't ask that of you.
Oh, that hurts. Still can't trust me after all we've been through, huh?
I mean, you're delivering it with us.
It wasn't a formal request, but I feel we should honor Bellius's dying wish. It would be unjust if we didn't deliver it.
Yeah. Besides, we're also at fault for Bellius ending up like she did. We've got to own up to what we've done. The Dawn also might know why everyone wants these Apatheia so badly.
He was trying to get his hands on one too, don't forget.
If we can learn more about the Apatheia, we might find out why Flynn's been using such extreme measures.
Well then, I'll make sure to set things up with the Dawn for you.
Why are we zooming in to Rita?
Really?
A wiser man than I once said, even chance acquaintances are decreed by destiny. If it's meant to be, I don't mind putting in the effort for brave Vesperia.
This is an odd camera angle that, when she has nothing to do with the conversation.
I'm going to meet with the Dawn, too.
Oh, there we go.
You too, Rita?
A lot has happened. And I get the feeling it's all connected to this Apatheia somehow. So...
It was the Dawn that told us to go find the Apatheia in the first place. He just might have something up his sleeve.
It told you to go find the Apatheia in the first place, not us.
So Rita, you're with us as far as Dongris?
I'm going to Dongres too.
Because going with us is profitable? Well, as long as you're piloting the ship, this works out well for us too.
It's not just that. I'm going because it sounds like there might be clues about my memory in Dongrest. Didn't you say that the Dawn in Dongrest was a friend of Eifried's?
Hmm? Oh yeah, I was talking about how Eifried and the Dawn worked together when they fought the Empire.
Then the Dawn might be able to give me some clues about my memory.
Well, if that's the case, then let's travel together.
Yeah.
Jeez, that old geezer sure is popular. I hope he doesn't get so busy that he faints.
You know him. He's just super cool.
That only leaves Estelle.
I think she needs some time alone.
I agree.
I wonder when we'll see Judith again. Hey, once we've delivered the Apatheia, let's go see if we can find her.
That's not a bad idea. Besides, she broke the guild laws, and you know we can't just let that slide.
Right. At least not without hearing her reason.
But first up is Dongris.
There'll be a stretch of beach along the southern edge of Tolbikia where we can lay anchor. I'd wager that'd put us as close to Dongris as we could hope.
Okay, sounds like we've got our destination.
Southern edge of Tolbikia. That would be... I think that's the right one. No. I think I see where we're supposed to land. Okay. Hello, Ghost Ship. I want those items. Also, it's raining, apparently. You are super weak. Go away.
Sorry, but you're going bye-bye.
Here,
Destructo
Shining
Flame!
Flame!
Tri-Soul Shot!
Super weak. Like 1 on 4? Holy crap, did you think you had a chance? Wait. Why did my party alter? I guess everyone left and then came back. Let's see. Wrong one. Patty, of course, is at 8%. Judith is gone, so Raven would be the other one. There we go. Gonna end stream soon, or gonna be... it's 9:47, so I've got like less than 15 minutes left on stream. That said, it depends on how fast I can get to a proper save point. I think I went the wrong way here. Beach right here. And they really want to fight me. They're like popping up right in front of where I'm going.
I'm gonna take this one with me and pay the Don a visit. These things usually take a while, so why not hang tight at the inn? I'll come over when I can.
Wait, can I come with you?
Hmm? This is union business. Not sure you'll have much to talk about.
Actually, there's something else I wanted to ask.
Can it wait till you bring the Apatheia with everybody else?
I'd rather ask it on my own.
If it's not too complicated, go and give it a try.
I can't make any promises, just so you know.
Sounds like the kid's starting to, try to, step up a little bit.
Thanks! I'll be right back, guys!
Do you think we could ask about the Apatheia as well?
That qualifies as complicated.
You've got that right. Hey, wait up! Where do you think you're going?
I've been to this city before, I think.
That again?
Well, this city does have a history with Ifrit. It wouldn't have been strange for your grandfather to have come here.
That's true. I'm going to go ask around a bit.
Be careful that you don't end up like you did in Nordopolica or Mantake.
I know.
We'll be at the inn. All right.
Let's be good kids and wait for Uncle Raven at the inn.
Parted with many people.
The town's quiet now, but it could get ugly quick.
Yeah, well, we've seen our fair share of ugliness.
Not like this, we haven't. Do you think Palestrale is just gonna take Bellius' death lying down?
The Don's grandson is wrapped up in this too. I guess they can't just let things slide. The guilds sure make a big deal about their rules and settling their scores.
Exactly.
What a pain. I don't get it at all.
We're kinda caught up in this ourselves, you know. Just be ready if things go bad.
I know.
I have 331 gold. Oh, hey, it'll let me stay.
Estelle and I will be resting in the inn.
But I have to...
We're going to get some rest. What about you, Yuri?
I'll do the same.
Yeah, I could use some time off my feet too.
Yuri, please wake up. Yuri!
Estelle?
Huh? Oh, I was really zonked out, huh?
Good morning, sleepyhead. Though it's more good afternoon now, ain't it?
Oh, hey, old man. You're back. What about Carol?
Haven't seen him since I left the Union. I reckon he's still there.
I hope he's okay.
Well, since the old man's back, does that mean everything's settled with the Union? Did you see the Don?
Well, about that. As soon as the Don heard what happened with Harry in Nordopolica, he left the Union.
By himself? That's not like him. Where did he go?
Well, and this is just my intuition, mind you, I think he's headed for Leviathan's Claw's compound, the Manor of the Wicked.
What?
What?
But Jaeger is the head of Leviathan's Claw. That's so dangerous.
Well, I don't think Jaeger'd try anything against the Don. If they went up against the Union, they could lose all of their business, for one.
So why did the Don go out there?
So, anyway, I'm sorry, but the Don's left the city.
Well then, should we go to Leviathan's Claw's compound?
You believe the old man's intuition?
If the Don's going up against Leviathan's Claw, we can't very well sit around and twiddle our thumbs. There's no guarantee the scum won't try to attack him.
Well,
yeah, that's
all right
true.
Then. I'm not really one for waiting anyway.
Patty still isn't back, huh? Then I guess we have no choice. We'll have to leave her behind. Estelle, will you wait here?
I'm going with you.
Estelle, don't overdo it. Are you sure you're up to this?
Yes, I'm absolutely fine.
Estelle.
So, you all know where the Manor of the Wicked is?
She's worried about you,
old
Estelle.
man. Aren't you coming with us?
Well, yeah, I guess I am.
Well then, it's decided. We'll just go pick up Carol and...
Uh-oh, something's happening.
It sounded from the direction of the bridge.
Uh-oh.
Let's go and see.
Not with everyone. I'm missing like 2 people. Who's more often used, Rapide or Rita? Rapide still has a higher percentage. I doubt I'll need to keep it like that anyways, but, you know. Alright, let's go see what's happening.
What's with all these people here?
Everyone.
Carol's over there.
The Dawn protected this city from the Empire. He protected our honor.
Even if we're the only ones helping, we owe it to the Dawn to protect the city.
Hold your horses. Settle down, all of you. What's all this commotion?
We've heard that a group from Palestrale has been spotted near Heliord.
Their leader got killed thanks to a mistake of one of our own. It's only natural they'd want to talk about the incident.
Once they learn the Dawn's left town, things could get ugly. We must defend the city from them until Dawn returns.
You fools. If y'all weren't so eager to fight, the Dawn wouldn't have had to leave in the first place. Soon as they learn there's fighting between guilds, don't you think the Knights are bound to stick their noses in our business again?
Dawngrest is independent from the Empire. The Imperial Knights are in no place to tell us what to do.
The Friendship Treaty still ain't finalized yet, you know.
Yuri! Everyone! What do we do? This is gonna become a war between guilds if we don't do something!
Just more reason to find the Dawn.
If only the Dawn were here.
They say that the Dawn may have gone to the Leviathan's Claw compound, the Manor of the Wicked.
What? Really?
Well, probably so.
We were about to see if we could go there. Want to come with us?
But there's a chance that the Dawn's not there, right?
Yeah, it was just the old man's intuition after all.
If he's not there, war could break out while we're out looking for him. Yuri, what should we do? What would be best?
Well, we should be able to handle the Manor of the Wicked ourselves. You go ahead and do what you think you should do.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna go and talk to everyone.
Do you think this is the right choice?
We don't have much choice. We can't follow the Dawn and guard the city at the same time.
I hope that we find the Dawn at the Manor of the Wicked.
We're his backup. If Jaeger's the one Dawn's up against, he'll need all the help he can get.
Hey, do you even know where you're going? It's straight to the west of here. Hey, wait for me!
Wait for me! Wait, is Carol still out of my party? I think he is.
If the Dawn really did go meet with Jaeger, what could the reason have been? And why would he go alone?
It's not to deepen the ties of their friendship, that's for sure. It was probably because he didn't want his subordinates to get wrapped up in the mess.
Well, that's just one more example of how much the guilds love doing things the hard way. Upholding every rule, settling every score. Is it all really that important?
Hey, if we're going after the Dawn, now's the time. We can have special Sharon time later.
Doesn't the Empire do the same thing, uphold every rule? This is where I should probably be grabbing... Yep, Carol and Patty.
Whoa!
Where are you going?
We're going to meet the Dawn.
Where did you come from? We're in the middle of the street with no buildings overhanging us.
I'm going too.
Are you done with what you were doing?
My results weren't that good, so I'm going to meet the Dawn like I first planned.
I'm warning you though, our destination is the Leviathan's Claw hideout.
Huh? I really don't get how things turned out that way, but that's exactly my kind of place.
Then follow me.
Hey, hold on.
What is it, old man?
You do realize what going to the enemy's compound means, right?
What it means?
We're gonna be on their turf, playing by their rules. If we get there and we're not ready to roll, they could give us a mighty beatdown and it'd be lights out for us.
So, you're asking if we're totally prepared to go?
We're ready to roll, old man.
You sure?
Clothesline? Maybe.
You're worrying more than usual. We're ready.
Yeah?
Although the street is pretty dang long. Or, yeah, pretty dang wide. Patty joined the party. See? I guess maybe she could have come from up here. From this lamp. But, like, we were right over here.
What sort of fellow is this Dawn?
He's an old man that's just larger than life.
In that case, I'm sure meeting him will provide a clue to the riddle of Ifrid. Dawn Whitehorse.
Huh?
Did you say his last name was Whitehorse?
Oh, well, Well, you just said it yourself, right?
Huh. She knows Whitehorse. Alright, what about Carol? Is he not coming with us? I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be here. I think he ran back to the crowd, didn't he? Yeah. Either way, it's 10 o'clock or close enough to it. I'll figure out where Carol is in the next session. Oop, nope, didn't want to save on that one. I love that. Alright, that's enough listening to that. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night here. Thank you so much, Druid, for watching, sticking around and stuff. I will be back tomorrow, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to continue this. We're going to find out what happens at the Manor of the Wicked. Hopefully stop the Dawn from doing something stupid. Let's check and see who we can raid. Looks like Glyph and Ghost could use a couple of viewers. Alright. See you around, Druid. /raid insert. Alright, and raid is started. And now I've just got to kill 10 seconds while it does the ready to raid thing. And bye-bye!